All right, guys, welcome back to the Sane Society. You have myself, Jochik, Justman, and Jagad.
Finally.
This is our year. Yeah.
Sorry to all you guys.
Sorry to all
And
our
ourselves.
fans. Yeah, and ourselves, you know, yeah.
Mainly ourselves.
Yeah, we've been letting ourselves down, but it's okay.
Yeah.
This is our year-end movie review. So
Yes,
we're gonna
sir. talk
talk about our top 10 movies. Some of our top 5s and top 10s have changed. Some of ours have not.
I mean, we'll find out.
Maybe we'll find
find
out.
out.
I don't know.
I want to do an honorable mention.
Sure.
Go ahead. Yeah.
One? Just one?
I feel like this year's been rough, so I
Definitely been rough.
kind of want to restrict it to just one.
Damn.
I can list like 3 or 4, but I think we'll get to that later if I need to. Honestly, The Substance. Like, it loses itself
Really?
by the end of the movie, but it's basically like a movie about like how this actress is fiending for the spotlight,
Mhm.
and as she's aging and getting out of the spotlight, and she's no longer like the popular actress, how she's kind of coping with it, and she's having a hard time, and then it, because she wants to relive that glory.
Yeah.
The substance this is called The Substance. She takes it, she injects herself, and she basically splits herself into 2 different people.
Mm-hmm.
They're still one person, but now she has to like, she's in a younger body, and
But it's so fucking weird.
it's like
It's
just
like body horror.
It's
like
body
no,
horror.
like
It's
this.
body
This
horror,
movie
and-
is the worst movie I watched this year.
What?
yeah. So
You know how many top 10s I've seen this movie in?
okay, so that's the thing. So here, like, the thing is, like, the first half of the movie keeps you reeled in. You're in it. You love it. Like, whoever did the sound effects
Mm-hmm.
killed that shit, because it's
Yeah.
you have like
yeah.
you're hearing like these
Yeah.
weird crunches. Like,
It
like when
makes
you're hearing people eat. Like, it's like
it
the
makes you
disgust
uncomfortable.
is-
It makes you uncomfortable.
It
If
doesn't
you watch it.
really good job of
Like
making you
there's a
uncomfortable.
scene in the movie where she's talking about, and it's like basically, again, she's an actress who's kind of like losing her like youth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's this guy, and it's a very unflattering angle on this dude, right? Like it's like a very close up face angle, and he's just like munching on shrimp, and he's like
and you just
chewing
hear
on
it
it,
all up in
and
your
you hear
ear.
it's like ASMR,
And you're just
like
like, you already
all in
hate
your
this guy.
ear, and you're like, bro, like get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like making you
so-
cringe.
Yeah,
Because he's like
yeah.
the manager, and he's kind of like, yo, we need to get rid of her. She's old now. We don't need
Mhm.
her for our program. Like, get somebody newer, hotter. And then because she splits herself when she becomes younger, she takes the spotlight of her own older self.
Mm-hmm.
So now the younger one is basically like thriving, living life, like making bank, doing whatever, like partying and shit. While the old one just sits at home, because now she's like, every time she switches back and forth, like her older self is just like, it's kind of like she's like craving that high, and she doesn't get it when she's in her old body. So like just watching that, it's like, it's such a
But it's
good
yeah.
progression,
Yeah.
and you're also like, you can like, you really feel the way she feels about it, and like like actresses will feel that way and can feel that way, and it really paints like a very vivid picture of that without like, and it goes into like this surreal like different thing, right? Like, because you can actually split yourself and whatever, right? But then as it starts to get into like its final act, I feel like it loses that like core principle
So
and that
much.
theme that it was
So
going with,
much.
and it just kind of
'Cause-
like, I think it like, so like it turns into like a satire, and it just starts like, dude, honestly, I don't even know where the fuck it went.
Okay,
Like, it
so
gets
like
fucking
basically,
gross, and it's just like,
the whole underlying theme and underlying message of the film is like you should be happy as who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't turn back time and become young. You have to be content with who you are,
Mm-hmm.
but also you can't make one thing your whole personality, because when you lose it, what do you have left? You know what I mean? Like, you know how people like get obsessed and attached to like one thing,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Like,
mhm.
yo, like I'm a gym guy, I can only go to the gym. Now they don't have the gym, and they fucking like
what
have
do I
no,
do now?
they have no identity, right?
Yeah.
And it was like her identity was so attached to her being this one person
yeah,
that when she lost it, she didn't know what to do, right? But the thing is, the movie doesn't make sense because it's supposed to be her, right? She's jumping back and forth
yeah,
between her younger body and her regular body, right? But when she talks about her younger self, it's as if
they're not the same person.
they're not the same person.
It's like she had a kid, and
that
the
could
kid
be
just
like
kind of,
intentional.
and that there's potential there, but
Yeah.
the thing
But then
is,
also they don't have
here's
this,
one
like she
thing.
doesn't have those memories either.
here's one
it
thing:
seems
they
like-
can solve the issue. Like, you remember, you know Your Name.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like they just they realize they wake up in each other's bodies and they don't remember anything, and they just like leave notes for each other.
Yeah.
They just have to relay notes and go back and forth, and
That's
they kind
all
of
they have to do.
they kind of try it like later on in the movie, but like it's like, yo, that's like the first thing, and like there's obviously rules to abusing the substance and like making sure you do it right, and they start fucking up and like abusing it, and that kind of goes into like the whole addiction aspect, and that's I'm cool with that. It's just when it got towards the end, they were basically fucking each other up, and like they both know that like you can't live without the other. They're both like each a part of a house.
Yeah. Like,
So if you're gonna fuck up one of yourselves, you're eventually gonna die too. So it's like they're not even thinking like, because they could have kept this going long term, and both would have just enjoyed it because they're feeling the highs and whatever, and just kept going at like a good pace, and then they just like crippled, and like I kind of like it leans into itself with the addiction, which is like, so like it's so hard to like hate on it with that, but I just hate the ending because like basically with her younger self, it gets to a point where her younger self fucking Sparta kicks the older self, and like when she Sparta kicks her, dude, like from here to the wall.
Farther.
It's farther. Dude, you don't even. She literally goes across. She flies across the room.
It was like a superhero movie. Like she kicked her, and she went flying down a hallway.
Yeah, and one
you're
thing,
like,
the girl's not gonna be that strong, and because they're fucking each other up, her regular self at one point gets older and older, and she becomes like a cripple. Like you can see her body like sunken in. She has
like
no
she's
fat.
not moving.
She's
not
she's
moving.
struggling just to walk.
She looks like she's probably like 120.
Yeah, like she's struggling to walk, and at one point you see her fall in the hallway, and all you hear is her bones crunching. Like all you hear is like bones snapping or some shit. So like, and then at one point they just start playing cat and mouse. Like they start running around a table. And
but
you're like it just starts to go into these unrealistic levels, like beyond like what you're like okay with for the story. And then from there, because like the younger one wants to be part of the spotlight, she's in front of this whole stage because she's fiending so hard for it, but she essentially like kills her older self, and because she does that, she can no longer like survive without that other self, and then her body's falling apart, like she's losing teeth, her like hair's getting fucked, and like whatever, right? And then she goes and she's like, yo, maybe I can abuse the substance again and split myself one more time. When she tries to do it one more time, she turns into this big fucking glob of a monster. It's fucking
it's
gross.
fucking disgusting.
Like 5-6 heads, 5-6 arms. Like it's fucking gross.
Like fucking boobs
and
coming out of her ear and shit. Like it's fucking
like,
disgusting, bro.
It like the story was at a place where I was like, dude, like I'm fucking with this movie the whole way, and then that final act was like, I'm ready to leave. Like I don't even want to sit here for the end of this because like what the
bro, and it's literally like, like what the fuck? Okay, basically she turns into a blob. And she has to go perform her show while she's a fucking blob monster. Yeah. Right? And she's
you know putting her dress on, and
she puts on her dress. She staples a fucking picture of herself on her face. So that's fucking. And she gets through security. And they're like, nice to see you. Keep going. And clearly she's a fucking big ass blob.
You can see that she's so fucked up.
Like, what the fuck are you letting through?
Yeah.
And then she gets on stage and performing the whole routine as this blob monster. Right? And it's like, okay.
And then everyone's like, now everyone's filled with horror at one point.
No. And it's like, it's okay. At this point, I'm still not checked out because I'm like, yo, she didn't actually turn into this. This is like a representation of how ugly her insides are because of the extent that she went to. This is not what she actually looks like. This is how they're portraying her to be. The audience isn't seeing this. The audience is seeing her, but this is how she, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. The audience that's watching her
sees
her like her fucking thing falls, and they all like start screaming.
They're screaming in such bad horror, dude. This guy comes up, literally like has like a bat to like beat the fuck out of her. Like their first response is like, "You're so fucking ugly that I need to kill you."
Beat the shit out.
Yeah, no, he grabs like an axe, bro. Cuts off her hand.
So grabs an axe,
cuts off her hand, and now she's spraying blood
on everyone's. It's on everyone's face, and I was like, it quickly like turns into some random like goofy horror thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like. It's crazy because like when like the feelings that you feel when you leave the movie at this point are no longer the themes that it started with. Now it's like, what the fuck was this? This is weird. That's why I feel like it screwed the messaging that like they were conveying.
Right.
And I didn't like that. Like had they continued like the way they were going, like I would have fucking bought this movie.
Like bro, she
literally
spraying blood on everyone. Then she runs away. And as she's running away, she becomes a smaller and smaller blob. And she turns into a fucking star.
No,
like a
no,
star,
no, no,
like
no,
like
no, no,
Patrick,
no, no, no,
no. Yeah.
like Patrick the fucking
No, no, no.
star.
Yeah.
And then there's a star, like you know, on Hollywood they have a star.
It's her name.
It's
on the
her
star.
name, and she like goes
like-
on top of it, and she like smiles and cries and just fades, and that's the fucking end of
Yeah,
the movie.
so like they're
And
trying
you're
to
like, what the
thematically,
fuck did I
'cause
just
they started
watch?
the movie with the star,
And
they
just
wanted to
ending
end
with
it
the star.
Yeah.
But it's
and they
just
kind of
like-
like what she went through to like just become another name on this. Like I guess like there's like so many ways you can take that.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because you have her like walking home and running. She trips and falls, and when she splats, she just dies because of the splat. Like she just literally just, and then like the next day you see like a Zamboni just fucking cleaning up her guts and shit, and like whatever. Yeah, it's fucking. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie I've seen
No,
because
it was
I like
horrible.
the themes that it was going, and I felt like that was. I don't know. I feel like we don't really get a lot of stories giving that,
Yeah.
and I would have been happy with that because it kind of was going with like how Barbie in a way, like about like just like women in general,
But
and this was dealing with because actresses feel a different type of pressure from actors, and I feel like we don't always get the actress's side.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. Like I didn't even care about that messaging at the end of the movie. Now I just cared about like what the fuck was all this shit.
But see, the
Right.
thing is, like, bro, this is the second movie I watched this year where at the beginning of the movie you're like, okay, this is decent, this is decent. Then at the end of the movie, just fucking some crazy random bullshit happens, and you're like, what the fuck is this? So the movie that I'm gonna say is Love Lies Bleeding,
Okay.
bro. It's a Kristen Stewart movie, and
I actually like that movie.
And it's
It's a great movie for like 90% of it.
but then the end, you're like, what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on?
It's not as bad as What the Fuck though, in my opinion.
It is still. What
It's
the fuck.
it's still like
It's still. What the
it
fuck.
does go like in like the realm of like random shit, but
You know what? I'm gonna put it in my 10 spot.
okay, that's crazy.
Wait, how'd you do that?
That's crazy.
How'd you go from it?
That's crazy.
'Cause I
Okay.
don't think I
Okay,
would-
fine. If you're gonna put that in your 10 spot, that's fine. Then we can address it then.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's address it.
Do you have an honorable mention
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. One sec. I just want to edit my
list?
top 10. I realized that I placed something in the wrong place. Honorable mention. It was actually on my top 5 at the mid-year, but I rewatched it.
And?
It is the first
Rebel
one.
Moon? Oh, sorry.
What is it? What is it?
Sorry, say
He
that
said
again.
Rebel
Sorry,
Moon.
say that
He
again.
said Rebel Moon.
Sorry.
It wasn't even in my top 10.
What did you say?
I said the first Omen.
Ah,
fair.
okay.
So I rewatched it a little bit after we did our top 5.
Yep.
Like the first watch, I could see why there was like a high
Yeah.
because there's so much shock value
Mhm.
into what you're watching. But then the second time you watch it, when the shock value's all gone,
Mhm.
the story's just kind of bland and kind of just like boring in a way. Like it was literally that's the best way to explain
Yeah.
it. It was kind of boring.
I feel like but isn't that like an issue with horror movies in general that do rely on shock value?
I mean, I could like sit down and watch The Conjuring. Like
But it has a really good story.
Yeah.
So you're saying like
that's what I'm saying though. It's like I feel like they could have done more. They
Mm.
could have done more with like the actual like rather than like the horror being shock value.
Yeah.
Actually, do a little bit more like
You know, sometimes like
horror.
they use shock value to like misdirect you from how bad the writing is.
yeah.
Attack on Titan.
Oh, that's crazy. Random
Yeah,
shock, bro.
how'd you even manage to get that out there?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm
That's
kidding.
crazy.
No respect.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with top 10 then.
Wait,
if
what's
that's
your
okay.
honor? Was it the
What?
substance as
I'll say
well?
substance.
It was gonna say
Yeah.
substance.
I was
I
gonna
thought you were
ask
say
because
substance.
like you said that you had like the worst movie.
That
like,
was
the
it was
one.
substance because again like
It's the way you felt after you left.
you know even
That's
bro,
the
it
biggest
makes-
thing.
bro, it's like she had to take like some spinal fluid
Mhm.
from the original, like the clone had to take it from the original and inject it into itself to keep surviving. Are
Eh.
you that dense that you're gonna kill the original?
Yeah.
Now you don't have the
Like
fluid.
how long are you gonna live? A week, 2
Yeah,
weeks?
like
what
what do
you
you think is gonna
expecting?
happen?
At most a
Yeah.
year. Take a year, but like you're
Right?
dying at the end
it's-
of it.
But that's the thing is like what was weird was because they weren't like
Communicating.
but it's like she's the same person,
Yeah.
but she's going into a different body, so
Yeah.
she should have the same memories
Yeah.
and same experiences.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
all she has to do is wait 1 week, then go back to that body, wait
Yeah.
1 week, and it's keep going back and forth. Like obviously that sucks, but like it's better than
Killing yourself.
Yeah, and like not doing shit, right?
Yeah.
But the way the movie was portraying it was
Yeah.
as if they were two separate people, and one was only living the shitty old person life, and the other one was only living the
See-
young, happy life.
The thing
right?
is, for me,
And
I like that symbolism of like, kind of like actors or actresses like doing anything and everything to like get to this, like stay in the spotlight, and almost basically killing themselves.
killing
to,
themselves,
Like, to a
like they're,
point.
yeah.
but
Like
it's
they
just,
break
it's about
themselves. Yeah,
the issue is how they chose to go about showing that and
Mhm.
doing that. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's where I
Yeah.
think the issue is. Cause
Because
like,
even
you know.
in the film, there's a scene where the younger version's boyfriend, he sees the older version of her, and the way he treats her is way different than the way he's treating the younger one. Like it's like a complete 180. He's like, "Yo,
Yeah.
get out the way, you bitch."
yeah,
Whereas the other one,
like
he's
I think
the other one, he's like, "Oh my god,
Here's
you're
the
so
other-
hot." Da, da, da. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
Like
sorry.
it's like people's perception and shit.
there's another issue we didn't talk about.
What?
The whole like I want to say like they spent like at least 30 minutes of the movie just showing us like ass and titties.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's the entire.
like close-ups because like
Yeah,
so she's part
yeah.
of the program that she's part of is like an exercise thing on like
you know,
an
like the
infomercial or whatever.
old 70s, like let's
know,
get fit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you know,
Pump it.
they're
Yeah.
wearing like fucking like
Leotards
highlight
or whatever.
colored
Yeah,
leotards and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that. Like
It's-
that's her show.
So like you don't really like we got it the first time they showed it to us where they're in the program and she's doing the full workout routine and she's like, all right, we'll see you guys next week. They can speed run that and show that like next minute and just to like go along with the next story, right?
Yeah.
But they're really like glamorizing and like showing that and like using up a lot of the screen time for
to
that.
show that.
And I'm like,
But
we don't
maybe-
need
'cause,
that.
Yeah,
You can cut that out and you can give us a more fleshed out story of like the dynamics of like how she's feeling and
I
whatnot.
guess
and,
you
like,
could say
whatever.
they're doing it on purpose to show how much she was sexualized and how
Yeah.
much of, like a part of
Mhm.
it.
But you, I
But
don't,
again, like
you didn't.
after
It was way
after
too much
like
though.
bro, after maybe like the 8th or maybe 10th time,
you
know?
like you don't
Like-
understand how many times they did it.
then
You
it's
didn't-
fine. But on like the 20th time, I was kind of like, yo, I get
Yeah,
it.
like-
You know what I mean? Like how many?
Yeah.
you know,
I've
like-
seen this ass before.
yeah, like how many times I have to see this, bro? You know,
And like the thing is, like
I'm
they're
not complaining.
They're
but, you
naked.
know?
They're naked. They're naked every time they're switching bodies too.
Yeah.
So you are getting like a lot of nudity in your face too, which is like, and that for that's okay because that's part of like the story. But then like when they're doing it with like the infomercial thing, I was like, this really has nothing to do with like the story that we're actually like going through. Like
Yeah.
it's such a side section of it that like you can just sum it up in like 10-15 minutes and then use the rest of the screen time for like better growth and
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like it. Like it was just like it was really like you make like a couple changes and the movie like skyrockets. Because like for me, I think I had it at like a 6 after I came out of there. And then had they actually like
Damn.
just had those little changes, that's how much I hated the ending.
Yeah.
Had they just made those little changes, like this would be like an easy 9, easy 8.5, you know? Yeah. So my number 10 spot,
Mm.
I'm gonna go with Smile 2.
Damn, you
Okay.
would like that movie?
Kind of, not really.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Smile 2, like, it had me for a lot of it until the ending. It fucking, like, plummets near the ending. Because I think, like the jump scares were nice. And, like, personally, I just really liked the main character's acting. Like,
yeah.
Naomi Scott.
Yeah.
I really liked her
she did
acting.
good, yeah.
And, like, I kind of liked it as a continuation from the first one. But I think I would have liked it as a prequel. Because, one, Naomi Scott she was already an addict. She wasn't as smart as the first girl.
Mhm.
So I think it would have been nice because in this movie, she's just constantly getting bodied throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
There's not like no signs of her like actually competing and like trying to survive. Or, like, sorry, she's just struggling. sucking
she's
ass at it.
struggling, yeah.
But like, whereas in the first Smile movie, she's like a doctor. She's working her way through it methodically, and
Yeah.
she's like trying to actually like she put up a fight against that demon. Like she was ready.
Yeah.
Like until they got to the cabin, like she was ready to like basically like stop that demon forever, right?
Mhm.
I think that would have been a way better movie as a second movie because you would have seen like in the first one you've seen how like overpowering the demon is, and the second one you would have been like given like depending on the right person you can get rid of it, right?
I just thought like the whole like premise of the movie was like so sick in the first like
it
like
was.
the concept of like this demon, the
Yeah.
smiling people and
Yeah.
everything was like so well done until it, like, you know, the demon turned into like this big giant
Yeah.
demon.
The ending.
The ending.
Yeah.
And then at that point I was like, I don't really need to see this movie again.
Yeah.
And then Smile 2 was just like seeing this movie again. I was like, I
Uh,
don't really like all that like value of what the concept of Smile is gone to me.
because of the demon.
Well, because like I've seen it. So like those
Mm.
like those tricks that they
I
were
would-
doing in the first movie to get
Yeah.
the jump scares and
Yeah.
everything, like I've
Didn't-
seen
Really,
it.
huh? For me, like I think the story that they portrayed through the main character
Yeah.
was something to keep me like as a horror movie you might not like it as much, but as like an actual movie, like I really like the direction they went in, because she's an addict, she's obviously already struggling with like what's real and what's not, and now she's all up in her head, and nobody in like around her even trusts her because they're like, dude, you're just
You're
a druggie, you're just
Yeah.
fucking, like, you know what
You're
I
in a
mean?
relapse.
And they just think she relapsed, and she's like, no, I'm fucking, like, this shit's fucking with me, like, somebody help me.
Yeah.
And she's trying to reach out, and I was like, that's such a solid like concept to go with. I just don't like that they did that second instead of doing that first, because they like, and then like, you know, when her friend shows up and she's like helping her, and her friend's like, this is like a friend, like her best friend that she hasn't really talked to in like years because she's like a celebrity,
Yeah.
and
They had, like, a bad
they had a little
fallout.
falling out, whatever.
Right.
But then she like tries to patch up with her, right? And then whenever she really needs help, she comes through, and she like, you know, sleeps over, and she like tells her, and she like trusts her, and she's like the one person she can confide in, right?
Right.
As you go through the movie, you realize at the end of the movie that like 90% of the whole movie was just in her head. Her friend never actually picked up the phone call, and it starts warping reality to like too high of a degree that I was okay with. Where like she's driving the car, it's actually her driving, but she thinks she's in the passenger seat, and it's her friend driving,
Yeah.
and then she finds out that it's actually her driving.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I was okay with it. I just didn't like the fact that the friend was just made up from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like they never actually talked the whole movie,
Yeah.
and that kind of cheesed me because that was her one sense of like she's trying to fight back.
Yeah.
Right.
Second thing was like she ends up in a hospital at one point,
Yeah.
and her moms are in the hospital, and her mom's kind of like one of those like trophy moms of like, my daughter's a celebrity, she's like the breadwinner, so she's like working her to the into the ground
Mm-hmm.
to just make as much money for her as she can.
No, not trophy mom.
What are they called? I don't know what they're called.
Pageant moms.
Yeah, pageant mom. A
Pageant
pageant
mom.
mom. Yeah.
Pageant moms.
So like that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then basically like the main character ends up killing her mom. But in the first one, whatever she was feeling like in her head and stuff, it never really transpired into like reality of like physically killing somebody else. Like that
Mhm.
was something that like I feel like it went way further than like what the original had
Yeah.
established.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like,
Yeah.
so that's why I was like, they started doing too much with it, and then they just need to restrict it a little bit more.
Well, the thing is like I think the reason why they had to do that, or the reason they went that route, was because of the first movie. They like I feel like they pulled out all the tricks
Everything.
in the book just to
Yeah.
make this movie good, and like
yeah,
that movie was good regardless of like the ending. Like it was still like enjoyable.
yeah.
But
Well,
like, what are you supposed to do in the next movie, for example,
Yeah.
when you do a movie like that? It's like we can't just do the same tricks that we
Yeah.
did.
And then at the end of the movie, I actually like the very ending of this movie.
Yeah.
Like when she's at the concert,
Yeah.
because at the point that she does her concert, she's basically lost herself to the demon.
Yeah.
Right.
The demon in front of everyone, and like you know how like the smile thing is like when somebody dies and you see them smiling,
Yeah.
it comes into you.
Yeah.
Because now you have thousands of fans in front of you. She kills herself on stage, and now everyone saw this happen. So now Smile Demon just fucking like went to
Like
everything.
1,000 people.
Mhm.
That's why like this would have been great as a first movie, and then the girl from the first movie could have been like attending as like one of the, like this would have set up for like a whole universe for Smile, and just
Yeah.
in an effective way where it's
I mean,
like,
you could still do it now.
but now
It's
it's
like every single person that was attending that concert is potential for another.
This is a smile in
But
game.
Yeah, this is another Smile Demon. This
I
is
think,
another Smile.
but I
Demon.
think because this one went more wild with like what the demon was capable of.
Yeah.
This would have been better as a first movie because the girl was in such a bad state that she couldn't fight back, and it kind of shows you that like your mental health goes into like you're literally fighting demons. It's like that,
Mhm.
like you're
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
fighting demons in your
There's
head.
probably gonna be like a frown demon,
You think so?
and they're gonna have a fucking Smile versus frown.
No, but like, because now you can get into these more like intense stories of
Yeah.
like kind of like the way you live your life, how it like fuels like the demons or whatever.
Right.
And then like having the girl who was like a psychologist or psychiatrist, she was so like well put together and structured that like she was able to contain the reality warping shit that was happening with her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like because this felt like a step backwards where like you had the original show you kind of what's possible, and then this one kind of just like threw that shit out the window,
Did they?
you know?
Yeah.
I forget. Did they ever circle back to the guy that was trying to help her?
Yeah, because was he real or fake or what?
They never circled back.
They
So
never
it was so
circled back.
confusing. It was
So
like,
there's
what was his purpose?
There's a guy that found
His
shit from the
brother.
first one,
Yeah.
His brother like died to the demon.
Yeah.
and then he tracked it back to like the girl that died in the first one.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he came to help the main character, and he's like, "Yo, like, trust me, like, I know this, like, this is what's happening."
Yeah.
But they never, like, he just shows up, meets her at like a restaurant, and then when
Lore dumps on her?
when she's having this
Kinda, yeah.
when she's having this hallucination of her friend driving, it's because she's going to meet this guy again. Because he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna like
Stop
fake
your
kill
heart,
you for like
yeah.
3 minutes and then bring you back to life."
Yeah.
And she's in like a random meat locker. Turns out that's all fake,
Yeah.
and now she's just in a fucking meat locker by herself or something and has to get out.
It was
and
so weird.
survive.
It was like was he real?
Like,
was he not real?
Too
Like,
much of everything was like fake
Blurred.
that you're
The
like.
lines were blurred too much.
It was way
Like,
too much.
yeah.
And like,
if she actually met him at the restaurant, why didn't they circle back with him? Like, what
and
was
also like I
going
feel
on?
like as viewers, like you want to feel like she has some type of redemption and she's not just like a lost cause because she was
Yeah.
doing so well from her relapse because like they made this character so well and like you were following her story and like besides all like the scary stuff, like I really loved the way she portrayed this character.
Mhm.
And then they just like gave her zero fighting chance at the end of the movie. You're like,
yeah.
she literally was just getting bodied the whole time. You're like,
Yeah.
this isn't fun to watch. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like there's no struggle. But yeah, I'd give it like like a 6, 7. Like it's
That's your number 10.
yeah.
Okay.
I just really love the acting enough that I would give it a 10.
Wait, why do you say that?
Like in the
Hmm?
top 10
Why do you say that?
because it's so low.
Yeah.
It's so low. Yeah.
So like how his thing's about to just jump up.
It will. It will.
Rebel
It
Moon
is.
Part 2
It
Director's
will.
Edition.
Yeah.
It is. Go ahead with yours.
My 10 is Wicked.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah,
I heard it was good.
it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought
It was a musical.
it was a musical. I honestly didn't think I'd like it or like
Yeah.
have any enjoyment out of
Right.
it. But like once once I sat down, I gave it that chance.
Mhm.
It was actually enjoyable. Like the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, oh, okay.
I've been hearing good things from everyone.
I'm enjoying
How-
what's going on.
How
The
was
movie, the
storyline?
act. The story's good. The one thing that I like had to do research about later was like where the storyline comes from because I know there's a Broadway or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of where like this is
And the original
like,
book.
hype's coming from. That's what I had to
Because
find
they
out.
tied into the original book way more
Because
than like the first movie. Or
It
whatever.
comes from a book.
Yeah.
But like I didn't. I was trying to figure out like how does this tie in with like the original? You know what I mean? But like the thing is, it doesn't.
Hey, what?
It doesn't.
What do you mean it doesn't?
It doesn't.
Isn't it a prequel?
No.
I thought it was.
Isn't it a prequel?
I thought it was
to
setting
Wizard
up.
of
I thought it
Oz?
was setting up like the
It's
witch.
not written by the same guy.
So it's not canon.
It's
You're not
it's
saying
like
it's
a
all-
it's a fan.
But it's like.
thing.
But it does.
It's a fanfic.
Yeah.
But does
okay,
it? But does it
okay.
connect? Does it connect? Like what they said?
Well, we'll see how.
Because
the-
I heard they brought up.
No, because I was looking into what happens in the book.
Yeah.
It's so fucking out there. It makes no
Is it
fucking
dark
sense.
or is it like?
It's adult story for sure.
Oh.
But it's so fucking out there. It makes no sense on how this is supposed to tie back to what we're seeing with like
Dorothy.
Dorothy and like the
Uh.
because she kills like the first witch in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And like that's supposed to be like in Wicked like her sister and like
Ariana Grande or the other one?
no the other one the
Okay. I can't remember her name.
I forgot her name too. But like her sister and I was like trying to figure out how the fuck this all ties in together and I had to figure out later that it doesn't really.
I heard they set up storylines for the Lion and those guys, like just a little bit teasers, like Easter eggs.
I didn't really see that, but
No?
like maybe I wasn't paying attention enough.
Okay,
But I'm also not like that too in
that's
depth
just, that's
with
just like
this, like-
somebody was telling me because I think they watched the first movie recently or something, and then they kind of like
I don't know, cause like the
Yeah.
Wicked's so based off of like a book. I don't know if
Yeah.
there was like a lion book or like a scarecrow book.
I think they're.
I didn't really look into.
I was
it
seeing
like
some
that.
Easter eggs on like just like Twitter threads and stuff
Mm-hmm.
where they're showing like the slippers and everything,
Yeah, they showed the slippers.
and then people were
Yeah.
kind of like, "Yo, like why aren't they red? Because the iconic ones are the red
They're
ones."
red. Yeah.
But they're in the book they're supposed to be silver. The only reason they
Oh.
were red because like it was one of the first movies on like television,
Mhm.
Colored.
and it's a whole color
It was
thing.
one of the
And then
first
also like
colored movies. Yeah.
they were doing like artistic things of like trying different slippers. Like Dorothy's shoes, there's actually 4 in existence,
Yeah.
and they're like valued pretty high, like on auction and stuff for like millions of dollars.
Let's cop
And
a
it's because
pair.
they have like different like. One's like the set prop. One was for like the stunt double. One's for like
The red
one
ones?
was like a mock up that never actually made it to the final thing.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So it's like stuff like that. Like there's like 4 recorded ones in history, and then like
recorded one.
what I mean like yeah.
No, because the way you were
I was
saying,
just going-
I didn't know, bro.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like in like Wizard of Oz lore.
Lore, yeah.
No,
That she has.
This is
different
like production.
shoes,
This is
and
like
different shoes give her different powers.
No, no.
Like these ones when she taps them.
No,
take
no,
them
no,
home,
sorry,
and other
I'm
ones
sorry.
when she taps them.
No,
and
no. This is all like in the I was just reading up on the
Ah,
production stuff because
okay,
you know
yeah,
like
yeah.
all the bad stuff that happened, with, like the
Yeah.
paint fumes and like whatever.
The witch burning.
Yeah, all that stuff. Like it was. I was
Yeah.
just reading a thread on everything, and then like the shoes was just like a really interesting thing because I didn't know that they were silver to begin with.
Yeah, it was just
Um,
that was like my intrigue was like, damn, how does this tie in with like, the original?
the one thing from the trailer that I didn't like
The
Was-
trailer.
it was just Ariana Grande's like eyebrows and stuff. I didn't like. I just couldn't stand to look at her.
How was her acting?
Ariana, she was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like obviously she's done like TV before
Yeah.
and whatever, right?
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
In terms of like the character, like again, I can't speak on like the book or Broadway or anything
Yeah.
because I haven't
Yeah,
seen any
yeah.
or read any
but
of
just
those.
in like from a movie perspective.
It was good.
Okay.
All like the acting overall was good. Like
Okay.
there wasn't anybody who was lacking. I feel like Ariana Grande, she did well. I fucking forgot her name. The main character.
What are you,
she
rating it?
I'm rating it 7.3.
Okay.
Let me just check.
Fair.
Yeah, 7.3.
Okay.
It was good. I definitely think you guys should watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I
Yeah.
was supposed to watch it last week.
Yeah.
Didn't end up watching it. Watch Craven instead.
The fucking
That
laugh,
was
bro.
a bummer. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay, I'll talk about it after.
Right when I
Is
saw
that
the
in your-
review.
No.
It's
I'll,
in his top 10.
I'll talk about it later. Just-
So my 10th movie. Kung Fu Panda 4. Yo,
what are you rating it?
like a 5.
Yeah. Why is that in your top 10? That's
Ask
insanity,
me how many
bro.
movies I've seen.
I think I rated Kung Fu Panda 4 like a 4.
Yo, yeah, it was.
I think I
horrible.
rated it like a 4. Like that was so like atrociously bad.
No, it was horrible. It was a
Because you know what
horrible
happened? I went back and watched the other Kung Fu Pandas after I watched. Because when I first watched the fourth one, I was like, "That's not too bad." But then I rewatched the first 3,
movie. Oh, dude.
and then when I watched them, I was like the standard is like
Here.
shot up to here,
Yeah.
and it just slowly started plummeting. And I was like,
Honestly, yo, the fourth
dude.
one, I just really fuck with Tai Lung.
me too.
And he was in the fourth one, so
Yeah.
I was kind of like, yo, that's kind of.
It saved it a little bit, but like
and the
just-
soundtrack was nice too.
Yeah, I don't fucking.
Hey, he's starting low.
That's
Yeah.
way too low. Jesus.
Yeah.
We thought you were starting low.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't. Do you
it's a
have anything
five.
to say? Like
No.
anything about
Kung
it?
Fu Panda, Jack
Like it
Black.
just sucks.
Kung Fu Panda Jack Black.
Skadoosh. Like,
Skadoosh.
I don't really have much to say about
Skadoosh
that
itself
movie.
into the top 10 slot.
Yeah.
In my 9th spot,
Oh shit.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Damn, it fell to the 9th. Was it even in your top 5? I don't remember.
Haikyuu wasn't even in my top 5 last year.
Oh yeah.
When you talked about it, like, I did watch it again,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of don't even want to put it in my top 10.
Damn,
But-
how's it there?
But the one is like this year's not hasn't been the best for
Mhm.
movies,
No, it hasn't.
but also like, I like it more of like it's kind of like an Endgame No Way Home vibe to me of like, it's something that like, it brought back all the Fox stuff, and I kind of I really love the Fox stuff, like all the original X-Men movies and stuff. So like
Yeah, it's a carnival movie.
for that, like I kind of have to like put it in my top 10, but I think rating wise, like this is like it's like a 7.5 to be honest. Like I watched it
Okay,
again,
we jumped.
and when I watched it again, like the jokes, to be honest, weren't hitting as hard as I thought they would. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what else to say. Like we did go pretty into it when we did
Yeah.
our top 5
yeah,
last
Yeah.
time.
we did.
So I don't wanna. There was nothing new that really like stuck out to me besides like just the jokes might not have been hitting as hard as they were the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got Hugh Jackman back. You had like all the cameos coming back, and just it's
Yeah.
kind of like the same way I feel about No Way Home. Like it's nice because you have all the 3 Spider-Men. Like it's just the same thing.
A carnival movie.
Yeah. What about you?
I think it was done better than No Way Home, but yeah. Sorry.
That's crazy.
I
don't
think
know.
I think
I
like the
don't know.
plot holes that we came out with No Way Home
We're
definitely
worse.
way worse.
I think the expectations for No Way Home were higher though, because the Deadpool movie, it was kind of like you're in it for just the jokes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
CGI was obviously trash in not trash, worse in Deadpool and Wolverine than they were in No Way Home.
That's true.
And then I think No Way Home had a lot more emotional beats that I fucked with a
agree.
lot
Yeah.
more.
I agree.
Like I think,
Yeah.
and then also
I agree.
Green
100%
Goblin, his acting.
Oh, it's crazy.
Insane.
You know what I'm saying?
Willem Dafoe,
I
bro.
think No Way Home had a lot better things to keep me like reeled in, and like like things that there's a reason I got the Steelbook for it.
Yeah.
Where Deadpool and Wolverine did not have that same effect, because the story to me just felt very bland and like eh.
Yeah, I think it's just the type of movie. It's a Deadpool movie at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like do
Yeah.
something like No Way Home where like you'll have those emotional beats and
Yeah.
like they tried like
With,
they
like, the
did
Wolverine
try
moment
with the
that they
Wolverine
had.
moment.
Yeah, yeah. But again, that wasn't Deadpool. Like none of the emotional
Wait,
shit.
you were there for Wolverine, at the end of the day.
Well, yeah,
You were there to watch
No,
it
but
called
like I mean,
Wolverine.
like the van as well. When Wolverine's just like digging into Deadpool, and you can tell like those things are like actually like
Yeah,
hurtful.
real-
It's like
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
like that like
Yeah.
actually hurts.
Yeah.
It just wasn't portrayed in the same way, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deadpool movie. That's the
Yeah.
issue. But at the end of the day, it's a carnival movie.
Yeah.
Like you're there to watch like the cameos and like, you know, you're not there to get like
Yeah.
Oppenheimer.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, but regardless of like the CGI issues and stuff, like it's still like, you know, I was there for the jokes and I was there for like
Yeah.
the Fox stuff
Yeah.
mainly. I think the story is the one thing. Like, had they just improved that slightly,
Mm-hmm.
that would have taken it a long way for me.
My number 9 slot. I technically have a tie. Like
Yeah.
a bunch of ties, but I'm just gonna say this one first. Conclave.
Really,
Yeah,
I didn't like Conclave,
it was good.
but granted,
The directing was fantastic.
What is Conclave?
It's like okay, so yeah, so it's a movie about the church, like in the Vatican.
Right.
The Pope passes away,
Yeah.
and there's a guy who gets assigned. He's the dean. He's supposed to become the conclave to figure
Right.
out who's gonna be the next pope.
Right.
so they get like a bunch of popes. They're voting for like
They lock them
whoever.
into a
church.
church,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to go through like these votes until like a majority is selected.
Is it
for
like a
pope.
week long or 4 days long or something?
It goes as long as like the votes are
No,
required. I
how long
believe.
was the movie? Like the movie portrayed it as
Oh,
like,
like a week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of a conspiracy there of like, there's like some
How people are swaying
underlying
the votes and
weird shit
stuff.
going on. How the
Yeah.
vote they're swaying the votes.
Yeah.
It's like the best way to explain it is it's like a courtroom drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's such a slow burn.
It's a slow burn.
So like the day I watched it, I had like 0 sleep,
Yeah.
and I was gone through like energy drinks, and I'm so freaking tired. But I'd already bought the tickets for the movie,
Yeah.
and I was just like, you know what, like I gotta go to the movie.
Yeah.
I passed out like 3 times in the movie, like
Damn.
10 minutes at a
'Kay.
time, just randomly throughout
I
the
can
movie.
I can understand that.
And like part of it was because I was so like, but it's because it's such a slow burn movie. And
yeah, you have to. It's very heavy in like the drama
Yeah.
of like what the storyline that's going
Yeah.
along to
and then
assign
like,
this new pope.
I'd wake
And then
up,
at the ending, obviously there's a twist.
and I'd wake up and Buddy next to me, and like I'd just be like, hey man, like he's like, do you know what's happening? And I'm like yeah, like I don't know how long I was passing out for. And then I check with him, and he tell me like this is like what you missed and whatever, right? But like the thing is like the way the trailer portrayed it, at least from what I felt, I thought this was
Yeah.
a conspiracy, like an underground like Illuminati type vibe.
Mhm.
That's what I thought. I thought like the Vatican was like orchestrating shit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But this was more of a conspiracy between the popes of like who wants to get elected and how they're like swaying the votes.
Yeah.
And that to me, I was like, I honestly don't care about this movie. Like, from a movie standpoint, you could say like it was directed well and like acting was whatever.
Yeah,
and, like,
acting
you
was
know,
everything was done well.
like it was good, but it's just
Yeah,
the
I
story
agree.
itself was something I could
I
care
agree.
less for. Like it
Like,
was just fucking.
The
like,
thing is, it relies so heavily on that like sort of courtroom drama
Yeah.
appeal
yeah,
to where when you realize that the conspiracy is only
what it is.
kind of like that, like
Yeah.
how they're swaying votes,
Yeah.
it kind of falls down those
Yeah.
pegs, and that's why it's at my 9th spot. I really think if they would have went heavier on like a conspiracy,
Yeah.
like for example what you said, the Vatican were doing some snake shit, or hell, the Pope was killed and we have
Yeah.
to figure out who
Yeah.
who murdered the Pope.
Yeah.
if
That
they
reveal
would've-
at the end was decent. It wasn't bad. Like I like 'cause I like that character.
It's kind of funny
It was
because
just
of like what the church is.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
yeah.
like-
so it's like surprising that they
C-
like
yeah.
you got somebody like that.
So essentially, the guy who gets selected as the Pope is like I don't know.
Not a
I don't
guy.
know what the like scientific way to explain it is. They're a guy, but they have like also
Androgynous.
yeah. I don't know, but they have like ovaries and shit.
Oh.
So okay, so it's
Oh.
you would say it's okay. So
Okay.
she's a girl,
I got you.
like
I got you.
genetically,
I got you.
but because of the way she was raised and what she believes in and the way that she acts, she always felt like a male. The only difference is that she has ovaries, like she doesn't have a dick, right?
So she's.
You know what I mean?
Wait, I thought
Okay.
she had it.
No,
I thought because
no,
she
no,
said
no.
that when she got her appendix removed is when they found
so they
her
were
ovaries.
So the thing is, like, they were. Oh, was it like that?
Yeah, that's what they said.
So she had both.
I guess.
I thought it was more like she was like female, but like, cause she didn't have like fucking like she looked like a guy, and she
Yeah, it's a
played
guy.
that like pretty well for like the
I think
the
it was
whole
a
movie.
guy that like
The
who
whole
lived
movie.
her life as a guy.
yeah.
But then when she got her appendix removed, they found the
I
ovaries,
thought
and that's where like the oh shit happened.
from what I remember, she was when she was talking to I forgot the Pope's name, but like whatever Pope that she was talking
The
to,
dean,
and
the conclave.
like explaining all this stuff to.
Yeah.
She was saying that like we had her and like the Pope before, the one that died, they were planning to like remove those parts, but then they had that like oh shit moment of like God made you like kind of like in his, like you're God's creation.
I am who
Why
I
are
am.
you don't ruin what God gave you? Like
Yeah.
why are you removing like you should be as is.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why they ultimately left the ovaries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I thought like, you know, like they were literally like why would they plan if it was inside, like why would they plan to remove it? There's no it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was like no, like she just didn't have it.
No.
you know what
I think they had
That didn't make sense to me.
male parts as well, or something
I
like
don't
that.
think so.
Because I remember specifically the line of them saying that like when they got their appendix removed is
Yeah.
when they found the ovaries, and that's when like
Mm.
like the world shifted, and then they had the conversations with the
Mm.
Pope about getting the stuff removed or whatever.
I mean, I was falling asleep and stuff, so like I can't even trust my judgment on that. But I just remember like just hear like the overall story. I was like, no, this is so boring. Like and like everyone in the theater was just old people, like seniors,
Yeah.
like not a single person my age, and I was like, makes sense.
No,
Like,
I thought like because like visually this movie was fantastic. Like the
Yeah.
way the sets that were picked, the shots that were picked, the colors that were picked, everything was done so well.
yeah,
The acting obviously was done well.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
literally just that one factor of had they made this conspiracy a little bit more deeper,
yeah.
it would have been
Like reward me more for the slow burn. Like I'm
Yeah,
so invested
yeah,
in the
yeah.
story.
yeah.
Give me more to like more meat of it. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to just know that it's like you're just swaying the voting process. Like I don't care
Yeah.
about that. Like
Yeah.
like that reveal at the end was like oh like that's deeper. Like that's going deeper.
Yeah,
And, like,
that
that was
was
like
deeper.
just a tip of it at the end of the whole thing, and you're like, yeah. I think I gave it like a 5 or 6 personally.
I
Like,
gave
what
it
did
a 7.5.
you- okay. Fair. What's your 9th?
Love Lies Bleeding.
I thought that was your 10th.
No, I put Kung Fu Panda there.
Oh,
You put
sorry,
Kung Fu
sorry.
That's hilarious. We just
I know. My bad.
yeah, I'd give it like a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
Why?
I think I gave it a 7 personally.
It was like so I think did we talk about this already?
We might have mentioned it in our top 5, but you
So-
can do a little rehash.
So basically movies about set in like what, the early 50s?
Yeah.
50s, 60s, and it's about this girl who was played by Kristen Stewart's character who works at a gym.
Oh, right.
And
Now I remember
then
this movie.
some like this new female character and she's a bodybuilder
Yeah.
and they like fall in love with each other. So it's like a lesbian story about them.
Mm-hmm.
But the other character, the girlfriend, she starts taking steroids because she wants to like compete. And so then as she starts taking steroids, it like changes her and she becomes
Giant monster.
at the end of the movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we had a blob, and now we have
A giant monster. Like she
This is
she
like-
literally
We're
becomes like
collecting them all.
she becomes a giant and she's so big
She's
that she's like running through the clouds.
It's like it's like King Kong grabbing like a fucking helicopter and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and
she's
I
huge.
think it was like it was metaphorical
Yeah, yeah.
because there wasn't like any
like lesbian stuff at that time.
no
What?
because it was at the end of the movie. Like basically there's like scenes in the movie where she would look temporarily bigger
Jacked.
than she was.
Like you see like her
s-
veins
like
pumping and shit.
yeah,
and,
or like they'd be like in bed together or whatever, and her back would just look massive, like bigger
Yeah.
than it normally is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until the end of the movie where like basically the whole movie is Kristen Stewart's dad is an evil guy who runs crime guy that kind of runs everything in the city.
Yeah.
And she used to
He's like cops on his leash.
yeah, like he pretty much everyone's on his
Gotham.
payroll. Like no one's able to bust him because he's got everything down pat, right? Kristen Stewart used to work for him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she would do all of like the dirty work and all that stuff, and then she like let that life go, right? Her girlfriend then starts working for her dad,
Mm-hmm.
and basically she like doesn't want her to work for her dad, and so her dad throughout the film had said multiple times like, I'm doing this to protect you, right? And then Kristen Stewart's character to her girlfriend is like, I'm doing this to protect you. I'm doing this to protect you. So it's basically like she hated her dad and how her dad was to her. And then she ultimately became her dad to her girlfriend. Like that same sort of controlling sort of mindset. And then at the end of the movie, she's like kind of like trying to like save her girlfriend. And it's like a showdown between her and her dad. And her dad has like a gun on her. And she can't do anything, and then the girlfriend comes in like slightly gigantified, like she's like 7 feet, right? And then she like chokes out the dad, and then she becomes a fucking giant ass like mountain.
Yeah.
And then the end of the movie is like both of them just driving away.
So like, I think this is a little bit better than Substance though, because like, it is A24.
Yeah.
And like I really like the progression of the story, like just until that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's literally like the last 10 minutes of the movie, where like Kristen Stewart's dad is basically about to kill Kristen Stewart, and then she just randomly morphs into like a monster, like the other girl, and then just grabs him and like fucking like kills him, and then they like dip and run off. But like it's like the last 10 minutes where it's like it's sad a little bit better because
it
of
was
that. Where
like,
Substance like. The whole final act was just crumbling,
like
and it felt like you were there for like
the movie was very much so like, I did this for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like, there's a scene where because I don't remember the girlfriend's name, so I'm gonna just call her the girlfriend. Kristen Stewart's sister is dating Dave Franco.
Okay.
yeah,
And
he's like an abusive guy.
he's abusive and he beats the shit out of her, right? And Kristen Stewart doesn't want her sister in that relationship. So then they're like, oh yeah, leave him, this and that, right? She has a daughter. They're like, yo, leave him, but they don't do that. The
actress's name is Katie O'Brien. Her name is Jackie.
Okay, so Jackie, Katie O'Brien's character, Jackie, in like a roid rage, kills Dave Franco.
Dude,
And then she's
like no,
and it was like brutal. Like it was like she like
fucking-
brutally murders him, but she's like,
you see his face after
and
too,
no, and
it's
but
like
then
caved in.
yeah, and she's like, but I did this for you.
Yeah.
Like, like I did
Yeah,
this
yeah.
for you because your sister was in an abusive relationship, like right? And then like Kristen Stewart, because she used to kill people, knows how to dispose bodies. So then she's like, hey, you wait here, don't do anything.
Dispose
I'm
the
gonna go, dispose the body or whatever, and then don't do anything. But again, she's keeping her in the dark the same way her dad was keeping Kristen Stewart in their dark.
Yeah, right.
So it's creating that same sort of like resentment and like toxicness or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I
Because her dad is who's the guy that plays her dad?
you've seen him before.
Clint
You've
Eastwood.
for sure seen him before.
I don't know.
Ed Harris.
Okay.
You've for sure seen him before. Hair.
What?
You've for sure seen this actor before.
Somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah,
I
100%.
think so.
Some guy.
Clint Eastwood, he said.
I don't know. Some guy.
Some white generic.
He's in Top Gun Maverick.
Okay. He was the sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know what else.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. Not.
I gave it a 7 because I think
So then it's in your top 10.
it's not.
What?
I maybe need to go back and watch it again, but like I guess
it has to be though, because it's already.
Like-
You said you give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. And your
What was
other
your
one's
lowest
Smile
rating?
2 was like a 6-7.
You said 6, so then
But
it
Smile 2
automatically beats out.
But Smile like it's
Not the numbers don't make sense.
These numbers don't make sense.
Yo, but it's a personal bias of like Smile 2. I just like
So then
Naomi
rate it
Scott's.
higher.
No, cause like
It's personal
no,
bias.
cause
Let it
no,
affect it and rate it higher.
no. What I mean is like Love Lies Bleeding. I guess like you could say overall it was better, like story and everything.
Right.
But then like Smile 2 is it's a horror movie, so it's you rate it in a different way. And then like
Okay.
but the thing is like Smile 2, like the peak of like Naomi's acting and
Yeah.
her character,
Yeah.
that was something that was way better done than what I got from Love Lies Bleeding.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But there's also the fact that Jackie's character, like auditioned through Twitter, and this was her first.
Yeah,
acting
I
job.
mean that's
Like,
cool.
that's
That
also
was just a
crazy
cool
too.
thing. That was a
Yeah.
cool little Easter egg thing. That's not
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
about the movie. Like,
Yeah. Jawad, you're number 8.
number 8 spot. I'm gonna go with Beekeeper. I'll give it an 8. I haven't seen it since the beginning of the year
Wait,
though.
so, wait.
It's a
But-
big jump.
Yeah, wait. What
7 to
was
8?
this jump?
7 to
8? Nice.
Beekeeper, I think I'd have to watch it again, but
Yeah.
I just like those type of movies, like the action. I'm like action movies, like it's a quick little like as long as the story just makes sense, and the action's just good fight sequences, like I'm with it. And it was just one of those movies, like I'd watch, like it'd be an easy thing to throw on, like people just watch like Die Hard, or people just I don't know,
Mhm.
you watch like John Wick,
John
like
Wick. Like,
it's just like something
it's
like
an
that,
easy
like
movie to watch.
yeah, like I would watch it like when like I don't know if it's on streaming anywhere, but like it'd be easy.
I think it's on Prime.
Okay, yeah, like I'd watch that again. And I like Jason Statham.
You rated it 8?
Yeah, I think 8.
Nice. My number 8 spot, I'm gonna go with Piece by Piece.
I haven't seen. What is
What?
it?
It
Never heard
is
of it.
a Lego movie.
Oh,
biopic
Pharrell
for
Williams.
the
Pharrell
Pharrell one?
Williams.
I didn't get to see that yet.
Ah,
It was good.
It was good. My only issue with it really is
that is all Lego. No, I'm just kidding.
no. Can you imagine?
I fuck with the fact that he was doing Lego.
No,
for
That's
it.
that. I love the fucking
I
concept.
I love the.
I
Concept
love the
for
fucking
that.
concept. My only issue with it is that because it's like a biopic,
It's hard to. In my
it's
opinion.
dependent on somebody's life, right? And like
Yeah.
how like much you can get out of somebody's like life story and like
Yeah.
the ups and downs
Yeah.
and like how you can create arcs and like
Communicate
acts
it
of a
within-
act.
yeah.
Life. My only issue with it is that it was an interview-based biopic.
Oh,
So it's an interview that goes into a sequence that goes into an
Oh.
interview
Lego
that goes into a
sequences.
sequence.
Lego
yeah,
sequences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all Lego. So
Yeah.
it'd be a
Yeah.
Lego interview that goes into a
Oh, Lego
Lego
sequence.
like sequence.
Ah.
And then, that's
But
my issue. If
maybe-
it was a biopic, I'd rather see it from like
Like a journey.
like a,
A
like an
full
actual like
journey.
movie about his life,
Yeah.
The thing is, bro, like,
like a Straight Outta Compton.
no,
Yeah,
and
I
I
see what
get
you're
that,
saying.
but maybe there was no way to make it like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe he had to choose it this way, or maybe it was even like an artistic choice that I wanted as an interview. That way I can like tell each story freely
Yeah,
without
yeah.
having to tie it into the next story. Because when you're telling
Sure.
a biopic like that, you have to.
It's
okay,
hard. Yeah.
It's hard to like, especially if the events don't happen like,
There could also.
what's it called, correspondingly, or
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
like one after.
There could be like
another.
really big gaps in his life.
100%.
Of, like,
That's the issue.
It wouldn't be able to like do it properly. And
100% think
I
that's
don't
the
know
issue.
enough about Pharrell Williams' life to
I think
like
I think
in
that's
terms
the
of
issue.
like when he started with music, when he actually finally got like
Yeah.
blown up, and like where
I
he's
think
at
that
now.
100%
Like-
that's the issue is that there's too many gaps.
Yeah.
Cause like his down, like because a story has to like you show
Yeah.
the progression, then you show the struggle of
struggle.
like when they finally made
And then
it, and
going
then like
through
the
it.
where they come out and like the
Yeah.
end, right? Like his really only struggle was the fact that like he made too many hits.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of I get.
Cause then he got to a point where it was like fuck, like where do I go from here? You have so many people fiending from him because
Yeah.
he's the type of artist that like diversifies.
Mhm.
So he'll do like a clothing brand. He'll
Yeah.
do this. He'll do the music. He'll go into the pop realm. He'll go into the rap realm. He'll go here. He'll go there. The issue was that like the executives were trying to abuse that fact and get him like in
Mm.
on like projects that weren't actually gonna do well.
Mm.
So then it was like, how can somebody who lives in the future figure out what his future is when everybody's trying to tell him what his future is?
Oh, okay.
Like that was like really like his like struggle.
I think the Lego concept works because like not everyone has like when you're doing a biopic, not everyone is at that grand status of like being able like have a story that's worth giving in that way.
Yeah.
Like when you have like who are the recent biopics that happened? Like Elvis is one of them. Straight Outta Compton, I guess, so you can count that. Like if you just look at just those two mainly,
Mm-hmm.
they went through like a lot of struggle
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
their stories like I guess like need to be told, but also like they have enough fans. Like I would
Yeah.
say like they have way more fans than Pharrell Williams does, even though he is like a worldwide like artist. I think like I guess like that cult following type of thing, or just like how they changed the industry and like whatever.
Yeah.
They had more of an impact in that way, I want to say.
Yeah.
So like
his impact was in the like behind the scenes because he was like
Yeah.
a producer for the most part. Like he
Yeah.
only really made like two like a handful of like solo
And
records,
honestly,
right?
I think you can appreciate the fact that he's using Lego for like it's new, it's a different energy,
Oh, it
and
was
it's fun.
So sick.
And it's fun.
It
and like,
was so
and they probably
sick.
added like
Colorful too.
they
It was
probably
very colorful.
they probably added
Yeah.
Lego jokes in there too, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like with style jokes.
Yeah.
'Cause, like I saw clips here and there, and I was like, yo, like, oh, I wish I saw this movie.
Again, the concept is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to see this concept get done again for somebody else's
Somebody else.
biopic.
Yeah.
Like somebody else where like they can do that. What
Yeah,
I'm saying,
Kanye?
like it could be a Kanye. Like he's gone through so many struggles, right?
He's
But,
literally
like,
losing his marbles. He has to run around and collect them.
yeah, yeah. But like I wanna see it not in that interview style that goes
Yeah.
into like a past
Yeah,
sequence,
yeah.
but like we start with Kanye when he was a kid and like
Yeah.
what got him into music to like where he
Yeah.
got into the music industry, and then like you see the progression and then the
Yeah.
fall and then like where he comes out at the end.
Part of it's also like finding actors that look credible for like that
The role.
actor, like
yeah.
or that
Go, it's
celebrity.
so easy.
That's one thing, and then also like it's up to like Pharrell about like he probably wanted to tell the story himself. Like he probably wanted to do
He
like tell the story from his mouth.
Yeah.
Like
he's that type of a
like
person.
because
Yeah.
he must be so part of the process that like he doesn't want somebody else to be saying those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also like another
Yeah.
thing they have to look at. Yeah.
But 100%, they should go with this concept again and continue to move forward with like real people's stories through
Yeah,
Lego. It's
yeah.
such a good idea.
That's awesome.
I rated it a 7.5. So that's why I was
7.5?
saying it was
Nice.
tied with
Mm.
Conclave.
What's your 8?
Beekeeper.
Nice.
Oh shit!
Same 8, son.
But what
And
did
it's
you
8,
rate
and you
it?
rate it at 8.
No.
Oh, that's crazy.
What, my shit's at like mine's like 5.6 right now.
Alright. Jason Statham not doing it for you?
Huh? Beekeeper was like like highest I could give it is a 7.
Okay.
Maybe like a 6.8.
Yeah, fair. I kind of just like the fact like Beekeeper felt so different. Like somebody being a beekeeper, like CIA, like it's
It felt so different, bro.
In
It
a
was
way.
so different than every other super like
Kinda.
spy movie and like Jason Statham like fucking
Kinda.
people movie.
slightly.
Like him like low key retired and then comes back.
No, no,
People. So different.
But I'm just saying no. It's redone in a different way. That's obviously you have that like general structure.
Yeah.
It's just him being a beekeeper. I was like that's different. Like just
wow,
that's like,
he'd be
that's such a random fucking thing. He's like living out on like a farm kind of like vibe. It's just, and then he was also like using bees in a way to like fuck up the people that came after him, and I kind of like that. And just like
Keeping.
no like
the honey.
Yeah.
well, because also like when they actually brought in like the younger version, like the girl,
He beat
The-
the shit
the-
out of her so
and,
fast.
and he
Yeah.
fucked her up.
Yeah.
Just like the terminology they were using of like like if you're a beekeeper, that means you're like fucking top 10 like CIA. Like it's just like they
He
start.
just fucked her up.
I think it just helped. Like how like John Wick has like their own world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I know.
I think it wasn't. It's not to that scale of John Wick, but it kind of just helped
Yeah.
create like a world of that instead of just using like typical terms.
The
you know
fight
what I mean?
choreography was nice. Like it's like
Yeah.
a typical action movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know. It's a 6.8.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Wait, we were at number 7. Am I tripping? 1,
No,
2,
you're right.
3, 6. Shit. Okay, I missed one.
You're on 7.
Okay, 7's gonna be Anyone But You. I don't have anything else different to say from our top 5. Like it's just a good romance movie, like comedy. It was just, I think I'm just really fucking with Glenn Powell now,
Mm-hmm.
because I even just seeing him in Twisters,
Mm-hmm.
I think I could low key even substitute Twisters as the spot. Like it's tough. Like I don't even know, like
not like Twisters.
like Twisters wasn't like crazy. Like it wasn't it wasn't a story I cared about,
Yeah.
but like it was the actors I cared about. Like you had David Cornsweet in there, and you had
like
Glenn
the
Powell.
Superman.
You know what I mean? Like you just had people in it that I was kind of like word. Like I fuck with you guys, so like I
I
fuck
don't fuck
with,
with the
Bro.
movie.
You
I
know
fuck
what
with
I
you
mean?
guys.
yeah. But no, Anyone But You had it was just a good story. Like it was that's again like
Yeah,
an
this is
8.
a good rom com.
Yeah, like it's an 8 out of 10. Like
literally all it is.
yeah.
That was
like,
your 7th slot.
yeah.
For my 7th slot, I guess there's controversy behind this movie. I didn't know that there was. It's Gladiator 2.
Damn.
What's the controversy?
See, okay, I didn't watch Gladiator 2, and like I feel like if I had watched it, it would be in my top 10.
But yo,
Especially like everything I was reading about
what's the
it,
controversy?
it felt like it would be a top
I
What's the
10
get
issue?
so like I believe they fired an actor because she was very vocal in supporting everything that's going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
like 4?
She was supporting like Palestinian stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they were just being anti-Palestine, and like the thing is like when they had the script and like when you look at like the behind the scenes and like pictures and stuff, like Pedro Pascal was like vocal about stuff and like whatever, like you can see that she was part of the set and that she was actually like more like integrated into the script. Like she actually had like, you know, dialogue. Like she was actually like one of the supporting cast, I guess, or like
Okay,
or like
and
even
they just fired her.
and they just got rid of her.
So they fired her and wrote her out of the script.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
which I'm like, I don't know how like that works. Like,
Why wouldn't they just
contractually.
replace her?
Well, I don't know. So that's what I don't know.
Like,
So that's why I don't
why,
know.
you don't have to get rid of the character, just replace the person.
That's why I don't know if it was like an actual like anti like Palestine thing of like, yo, you supported them, so like fuck you, you're out,
Yeah.
or whether it was like they looked at the script, because
But,
you don't know.
but
'cause
who's telling you this? Like that she got fired because of this.
it was like
Like,
I
where's
sent
the
you, like,
sources? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it just people spinning a narrative because
well, you
she got
you
fired?
saw like pictures.
Or is
yeah,
that factually what
like,
happened?
that's
I,
also
like, I don't
yeah,
know.
that's
I'm
true.
asking.
I don't
that's
know.
I'm
also
asking.
that's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
true.
I'm
like,
just asking.
He's just
We-
asking the question.
yeah, we also don't know enough of like, because like they can also spin it in a way of like, oh, we found a better script, so we just
I wrote the part out.
because how do you like once you're already signed like the contract and you're behind the scenes working on it,
Yeah.
how do you randomly just get fired and like severing the contract? You know what I mean?
No, but I
So
mean,
at that
you can,
point, like-
you can,
Why the
you can,
breach of
there's
contract?
breach of
is
con-
like,
yeah, that's what I'm
is
saying.
like
You
the
can breach your
biggest
contract.
one.
Yeah. Like her supporting like
No.
her political
Well,
interests.
again,
or
you don't know
something,
you don't know what the contract
Exactly.
said, right?
So that's what I'm saying.
the
Like,
contract was like, don't eat hot dogs on Tuesday, and you ate a hot dog on Tuesday. That's it. You're out.
yeah.
Don't fucking eat that hot dog. I swear to God.
Like, I mean,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
fair. That's what, like it could
It could have been anything.
It could be a lot of different like reasons, but also like you wouldn't want. I don't want to just excuse that like it probably
no,
was
of
the
course
Palestinian
Not, of course
stuff.
not. Of course
Yeah,
not.
And, like,
okay.
Because it's happened. It's happened. Like
Yeah.
Scream 7 or whatever, the one actress who was being vocal
Yeah.
about the Palestine stuff, they literally just
Yeah.
fired her, and like now she was one of the like she was in the last movie. I think I don't know how many movies she's been in,
Yeah.
but she's been like a semi OG type of character.
Yeah.
To where it was like, wow, you're actually gonna, how the fuck are you gonna replace that?
Yeah.
Right? And I think Jenna Ortega, I don't know if she's still doing the movie, but or if she backed out as well to
Yeah.
support that person. But if she did, you're losing two fucking great actresses that are making this like movie what
Yeah.
it is.
I think it's likely that it was a Palestinian stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think it's so easy for them to spin any narrative and to say that it's
Yeah.
not Palestinian.
No,
Yeah.
but why?
And like, what do you mean?
Like, why'd they fire her because she supports Palestine?
because
Because like, I mean, like, U.S. is supporting Israel. Like, it's like so many
it's just
things.
about it's
It's
like
a movie. You're
I
making
know,
a
but
movie, you're
it's
telling a
Hollywood. It's in
story.
Hollywood.
It's
though.
Hollywood, bro.
Like, it's like,
Okay.
those
it's
are
the people who
things-
run Hollywood, the execs.
and you don't even like you gotta look at like who the execs support and like what their
Yeah.
background is and
who
everything.
Yeah,
who
yeah.
they're funding.
Yeah.
Fair.
But
This is why you make indie films.
So that's why I didn't watch the movie. That's like I was gonna watch the movie and like buy tickets and whatever. Like the week I think that I watched Conclave was would have been like a Gladiator 2 instead.
Pedro Pascal, like he did his thing. Like
Yeah.
he's always a good actor. The thing with this movie is it's so much of a rehash of the first to where like the storyline is almost following.
Like you don't even need this movie.
Bro, like
Is it better done?
no, not at all.
Because the director was coming out being like, "Yo, this movie's better than like any other movie I've done," or like,
No.
"This is better than the first one."
No,
type
the
thing.
the issue with this movie is it's a literal rehash of the first movie. Based off of all the cues that happens to like the main character in the first movie, they all happen to the main character in this movie.
Okay.
So it's not like they're doing something like
Are they
innovative or brand new. The innovative stuff that they did was the gladiator events that took place in the Colosseum,
Yeah.
to where they had like they flooded the Colosseum. They had sharks. They had like boats
Oh.
going in there. Like that was cool. Like that was dope. Yeah, it was just like cool. Like those things were like they were able to like leverage like modern like VFX and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that made the movie more grandiose in a sense. The issue is, for one, like I said, it's a rehash. Two, like the whole like twist, or maybe it wasn't supposed to be a twist.
Yep.
Is like the kid is the fucking Spaniard's kid from the first movie.
Okay.
So this kid is also the kid of the princess from the first movie.
Okay.
So it's like this like whole thing that like they tried to tie it
Like,
in with like
interconnect
this
it.
with this one line that they put in the
Yeah.
first movie where they said that they had like a relationship
Like it's 2 weeks.
before he got married and had like his own family.
Oh, so it's like a bastard. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, cuz like he had his own family. Those are the ones that got killed in the first movie, and then
Yeah.
he became the gladiator,
Yeah.
right? Now it's like that princess he, I guess, had some sort of a relationship with,
Yeah.
and I guess she had a kid that she kept secret in a way,
Yeah.
but they keep it they try to tie it in with that line, and then also when he was dying, the first thing he asked was, "Is so and so okay?" As in like the kid's name. I forgot his name.
Okay.
But in the first movie, the context is she's so like protective of like her son, to where she's like, I don't want to get my son killed. So the first thing that after their conspiracy of what they're trying to overthrow
Yeah.
the king and whatnot is done for him is to be like, hey, like as a friend, is your son okay? That was our context in the first movie. So now in the second movie, the context is he was asking because that's his son and he knows it's his son.
Daddy. Yeah. Fuck.
So it's like it's a little weird
That's
Yeah.
where like
I don't
it
like it.
didn't fit that well.
Man, it's that idea of like when movies don't need sequels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like especially older
Yeah.
movies, going on that nostalgia. And I hate that this is part of that run.
There was
So now I don't feel that bad that I missed the movie.
a buddy of mine.
It
was still good.
He went to go watch it.
Yeah.
And he's Italian.
Yeah.
And so he went to go watch it, and the scene where they flooded the Coliseum, he walked out the movie. He was like, "That's so disrespectful." He's like, "I'm out."
You're lying. You're lying. He walked out.
He walked out of the movie. Yeah.
Sick. Props.
I don't know about that, but yeah, 8 out of 10
Walk out of the movie. That takes a lot.
for
That takes a lot. I've never like as much as I want to walk out of the movie. I just still
for
sit
flooding
there.
the Coliseum.
I still sit there because I'm like, yo, I want to.
No, that's a crazy one to walk out for.
No, but props to fucking walk. I've only I think like a handful of times like I've seen people actually walk out of a film. So it's like if you're down to just walk out of a film, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, he got a refund.
He said they flooded my Coliseum. I want a refund right now.
I'm done
Yeah.
with you. I'm done with y'all. What's yours?
Oh, at number 7.
Mhm.
Yeah.
DD.
Down.
That slipped out of your top 5?
film? Was it a short
Yeah.
film?
No, it was like the.
No, it was a normal film.
The immigrant one. I remember.
No, like the guy with his brother or brother sister. Yeah, they're like
immigrants?
like
Or they're like brown and like we get like a friends with like the
his
Chinese
friends.
guy.
No,
and
he was
His friend's brown.
His friend's brown.
They're
he's,
like
he's Asian.
they're
he's
Asian.
Yeah.
Okay, like he was a group of like sorry,
Yeah.
I meant to say people of color.
Yes.
Not immigrants.
Like immigrants.
Send them back to their country.
I didn't say immigrants. I meant to say people of color. The whole friend group is people of color.
Yeah. Bro.
Continue.
But why did it slip out of your top 5?
I feel like the other movies in my top 5 are ones I'd watch again,
Yeah.
Okay.
and this is not a movie I'd watch again.
'Cause I
And
remember-
that's the only reason it would like slipped out, is because I'm like it's not a movie I'd watch again. There's
Yeah.
no reason for me to watch
Well,
it again.
Because I remember you said like it was well done and everything,
It
but
was.
I think you said you would have wished they went a little bit deeper with some stuff.
Yeah.
And that's-
it was like right there, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you're teetering on greatness,
Yeah.
but you just didn't push far
You didn't
enough.
push- yeah,
and
yeah.
in the end, that left the movie like very unsatisfactory.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I'd give it. What did I give the last one? A 6.8.
Yeah.
Okay, I give this
What is his top 10, man?
probably like a 7.2.
Okay.
If I twerk for you, count it as a movie? Make it top 5. Like the way these ratings are, like
Bro,
that's crazy.
you have to twerk for the runtime of
2
a
hours,
short
35
film?
minutes.
no,
Of a short film?
No, you for the runtime of Zack Snyder cut of Justice
That's
League.
fucked.
4 hours and 18
That's
minutes.
fucked, man. I'm chilling. I don't need to be in your top 5 that bad.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. You got number 6.
My number 6, Joker 2.
Damn, it slipped in?
Wow.
Yo, you know how I feel, but
Okay, I will say
I also wanna know if you watched the movie.
I have. I will say it's not as bad as everybody's making it out to seem.
I think it's very heavily overhated.
Okay.
Definitely
I
overrated.
am gonna give my. I know we've discussed it, but I want to give my like I don't think I discussed it with
No,
you.
we haven't
Mhm.
talked
So
about
I
it.
do want to give more context into it.
Okay. For those that haven't watched the movie, what's it about?
Obviously, this is a continuation from the first movie.
Right.
Basically, like, I think where the movie thrives is that like if you can detach yourself from like Joker as like a DC character, and you
Okay.
have this, it's more of like a take on Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that sense, like, you can accept it and you actually fuck with it. Like, cause like even the first movie was a take on society. Joker was that like engine to like say like show that story.
Right.
In the second one, he's doing the same thing, but like I think everyone was too their expectations were to just go deeper into what Joker could be. And I know when the movie first was announced as like a sequel, we talked about how like Joker did not need a sequel. But now that they are doing a sequel, there's correct ways to how you can pull this off in like where it makes sense, cuz the Joker that was portrayed, like there was so much ambiguity towards like his origin and whatnot that it worked to just leave it how it was. And if you're gonna start giving us more like clear cut like things of Joker, it might ruin what the first movie had established.
Right. Okay.
So then in this movie, it's very heavily tied into the first one. Like it's like literally like it's the events of the first one. It's just like what happens right after. So like Joker's in jail, and the way it's set up, like the colors and everything, like it's such a like you could almost watch Joker 1 and Joker 2 as like a 3-4 hour movie like together if you wanted to, because of how it like continues.
Okay, yeah.
And just like the way like the cinematography and stuff is, it's like all very fitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously a musical though, right? So that's the one aspect where you'd be like, okay, now we got like fucking hella songs going. The music was there to obviously like show you like the inside of what's happening in Joker's head, like how he's like, it's like when he's like disassociating with what's happening with him because he's in jail, and like he's kind of just like fucking around, and it's kind of like him being expressive and talking about like how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually didn't mind the musical numbers. There were parts where like near the end where I was like, we're getting a little bit too many musical numbers, but like overall, like as far as musicals go, like I don't watch musicals, I don't really like care about it too hard, but like I like the imagery they were portraying for most of the numbers, because some of them you'd kind of go into like a whole like, I think you had like Harley Quinn on the piano and you had Joker just dancing and stuff, and it was like a whole different, he's in a suit and he's just kind of vibing and he's like the center of attention. I like that because that really showed you like this is how he's feeling inside of his head. And then there are moments where like he's just in the jail and he's like singing while like just like prancing around or like whatever, and those ones were like they weren't bad, like they were nice. And I think people really hated the final act because essentially like you're going through this courtroom drama, and I really liked the progression of the courtroom drama, and then you had the musical numbers that broke up the courtroom drama. So like in the same way where Conclave was such a slow burn, Joker was like, I think it excelled with that courtroom drama because it was able to break it up and give us like relift our energy and not just get bored watching like the shit go down. And then also like you kind of have like, so you have Arthur, you have him kind of coming to terms with like who he is as a person, and he's kind of in that like little like 50-50 of like, who am I Joker, am I Arthur? And while the court is like proceeding, he's slowly like going into this Joker persona.
Does he say?
And does
he say like I'm the Joker, or he just my other self, or
kind like he's trying to portray it in the court like Joker is like this other entity of him, like it's not him. He's trying to say like he's like
plead insanity.
Yeah, he's trying to plead insanity. His lawyer's telling him to plead this way so he can like get out.
Right.
And then Harley Quinn's working the other end, trying to tell him, no, you are not Arthur. You are the Joker.
Exactly. Like Harley's kind of like, yo, I fell in love with like the Joker. Like you're fucking like awesome. Like keep going with this, right? But then I think what is it Andy? Who's the director? Is that Andy Muschietti?
No. It's Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips.
Yeah, fuck. I'm thinking about like the fucking Flash movie. Todd Phillips. So Todd Phillips, he kind of takes it to another extent where like society had expectations for him. Harley Quinn had expectations for Joker.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted Joker, but then in wanting Joker, you no longer cared about Arthur. You didn't care about who he was as a human, or like you kind of just wanted this. You wanted something to, like for yourself, right? So he kind of like flips it on like that narrative of on like the viewers, the audience, and just kind of shows you where he's like, because in the movie Arthur's like, yo, honestly, I'm not Joker. By the end of it, he's like, I'm just Arthur, and everyone hated it. Audience hated it because they were like, what the fuck? Like you're not like we're here for a Joker movie. We want Joker, and like I get the sentiment, but like he's using this as like it's like a thing for what society wants and stuff, and he literally reversed it on. And it's like, to me, I find that like awesome. I like that he went against the grain, because like when you have stuff like the Dark Knight, like you can only like you don't really want, like it's too hard for him to live up to that like that Joker
But he
and do
did. That's
and
the
do it in
issue.
that way, right? And like in the first movie, he was able to kind of do it, but you know, like what we were given in the first movie, those were like kind of like it's good as like a origin, but not enough of like the meat of like what Joker is,
But
right?
then that's where like the discussion comes. Like, does it actually need a sequel?
Yeah,
Because then you could have had it been a standalone Elseworlds project. That
yeah,
it fucking stands alone. Made
Yeah.
$1 billion. It was rated highly, at least
yeah.
amongst
coulda just left
fans.
it.
They could have left it
Yeah.
there and just called it a day.
But yeah, and I think like personally, I would have liked if the musical numbers were more like, you know, Joker and Harley are on a killing spree, and then the musical numbers are just them like romanticizing life.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
right,
And
right.
but that's such a, I feel like that's such like a basic way
Better
to take
way.
it,
Yeah.
but it's such a easy way where you're like, you don't have issues with the story, you don't have conflicting audience like ratings and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But honestly, like I'm like very happy in the way that he took it, and it might have its issues, or it does have its issues,
It
but like
definitely has its issues.
I always like, I feel like we were never like, it was never like this is like DC Joker. It was more like it was
Yeah.
always portrayed as like this is a version, like it's based
It's
on
Elseworlds,
Joker.
right?
Like,
At
you know
the
what I
end of
mean?
the day, it's Elseworlds.
It's more like this interpretation is based on
how
this
could
character.
how could a Joker
it's
be
taken-
created in this society?
Yeah.
yeah.
So because it's not like, you know, like we're not getting, this is not DCU like Joker or DCU. Like,
Where
Yeah,
it's
it's not that.
fantastical.
You know
like,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's I'm completely okay with the way it went, and also like, do the performances we're getting out of like Joaquin and like
Mhm.
Lady Gaga, like
Mhm.
it all just like it played into itself really well, and then also like at the end when like, you know, like the fucking
The short guy? Yeah.
Mhm.
when he's like telling Arthur, he's like, this isn't you, like, you know, like you saved me, like
Yeah.
like you actually got like these like emotional moments and stuff, and
yeah.
like, yeah, I fucked with it. Like
Yeah.
I'd give it. You could argue an 8.5.
The thing is,
But you
yeah.
could also bring it down to like an 8 to 7.5,
I think
because I
8 to-
also get the
yeah.
other side of the sentiment
yeah,
of
I think
you're a
8's
comic book
perfect.
fan. You wanted a comic book movie.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think 8's like the perfect slot because it could go either way.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, everybody felt like at the end of the first movie, like this is like also potentially how the Joker could, or like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker could have inspired like the Joker that goes up against
Yeah.
like the Batman.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, more so that is true at the end of the second movie.
Yeah.
For one, Harley Quinn was quote unquote pregnant. I don't know if that was still in like his head or not.
Okay.
Or if she was just saying that to manipulate him.
I think she was manipulating him.
To
That's what I thought.
the other, but it was never clarified. So
Yeah.
it's like it's out there.
I like that they like.
So
That-
you could
that-
say
that's
that
the-
like that kid is the that one that becomes the Joker,
The one at the end of the movie.
the
her-
Joaquin Phoenix's kid.
Oh, you think that? Okay.
Or it could be that like
The guy at the
whatever
end.
the madness that he created,
Yeah.
created the Joker.
Yeah.
Oh, like gave
And
birth
I'm
to
okay-
a metaphorical Joker or whatever.
Like an actual,
Like
actual,
an actual Joker that could go up against a Batman.
Yeah.
yeah,
and
but
I'm
it's-
okay
but
with that
it's-
too.
But it's like,
Yeah.
but Harley Quinn is metaphorically pregnant.
Oh yeah, that could be metaphorical too.
Because like, there's also at the end of the movie where so Joker gets, spoiler obviously, but he gets stabbed to death
Yeah.
by this other guy who's like very like infatuated by Joker, and then he like just sits there and like laughs and like smiles or something.
But he kills himself.
does he?
I swear. Or no, he slices. He slices a smile.
He slices a smile
into
like
his
kind of
face.
like the Dark Knight thing.
Yeah.
And then people were kind of chapped at that because like in the first movie, he wasn't allowed to do that, but the second movie they never had those restrictions.
Well, they still I think had the
What do you mean he
restriction.
wasn't allowed to?
So I think Nolan said
Yeah,
he
don't
doesn't
do that.
want it to be done.
Like, don't do that.
Oh,
because
they
then
did,
it
'cause he
touches
did
like
that.
the Dark Knight stuff.
Like, don't do that.
But then at the end of the movie, the thing is they don't show it straight on.
They never
So
show-
you
it's
see
always-
it in the. So Joaquin Phoenix is on focus, and you see the guy in the back sitting on the bench, laughing and taking
Yeah.
the knife into his mouth and slicing doing something.
Yeah, like
Oh.
like
Obviously,
it's
it's a
so like
smile.
in the like you almost don't even catch it,
Yeah.
and like I kind of have to. I might have to go back and watch it to see if you can actually see him like doing that because I thought he was just killing himself.
Mhm.
It
I
looked-
didn't-
to me,
I-
it looked like it was a smile.
You thought a smile? Okay.
I thought it was a
I thought he
smile.
was killing himself, but also like I was focused on Joaquin, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wasn't
As he's
focused. On, I
fading
wasn't
away.
focused on the background,
Mhm.
but I don't. I think the use of color, because I did I think go back and watch like a little bit of it, and they did explain that like when there is color in moments, that's when
Mhm.
Joker's fantasies are happening.
Okay.
So you
okay.
have because like there was like this in you might have seen it in the trailer where he's walking with like a bunch of guards around him with umbrellas.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yeah.
The umbrellas are black, but
Mhm.
then they pan from above, and now all of a sudden they're colored. And now they
colored.
show Joker again, and he's kind of just like, like dancing and stuff. And it's like there are things like that to pick up on, which
Mhm.
and also like with the courtroom drama, it's Harvey Dent who's the lawyer up against him,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and then Yeah.
So you gave it an 8?
8.5 personally, because I think people just overhated it. It has its issues, but like if we were to actually like discuss and go into it, you could, I could bring it down to 7.5 or 8. Like it's like it really is about how you feel about and how much you can appreciate different things. Like I feel like people that appreciate like the artistry and like the theme behind it with the society stuff, they're the ones that really fucked with the movie. But then it's the guys that like are like comic book like diehards or nerds that were like, fuck this movie, because they didn't care about that overarching message. They just wanted like Joker. Yeah. And then obviously Todd Phillips does like a fuck you to you, like anyone who's like, you expected Joker, I didn't even give you Joker. Like, fuck you, right? Yeah.
What's your number 6?
So I have a tie.
Okay.
I'll go with this one first since I've already said it in my top 5. The Bike Riders.
Okay.
I watched Bike Riders.
How'd you like it?
I liked it.
It was
I
nice,
thought it was
right?
good.
It's just a solid movie.
Yeah, it was just a good movie.
Solid
Yeah.
movie.
I didn't know what to like, where to play. I didn't know where to place it. I didn't place it in my top 10, but that's something that I need to like. Maybe I need to rewatch it and like really look at it again.
Mhm.
But I remember watching it and I was like, wow, like it was just good.
It was good.
Like it was just good. Yeah.
I rated it at 8.5.
I like the accents. Like I like the story. Like
It was
the way
done well.
the way it was portrayed through like his wife.
Yeah.
Like and I like that actress too.
Yeah, she did
So,
good. She
like-
held her own in like in a movie with like big personalities in the sense of Tom Hardy and Austin Butler.
Yeah. And I like the way it's like I think it's the accent, but it's the way you talk, like the way she talks about it. It's like it's like she's like, oh, like my husband was never like that. Like it's kind of giving me like Forrest Gump vibes in a way.
Like Southern?
Southern,
it's
yeah.
not Southern, but it's the
Southern
way
vibe.
they talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like it's how they romanticize like their husband.
Yeah.
Where they pick up like your little like idiosyncrasies and whatever they are,
Yeah.
and like your husband or like significant other the best.
Mhm.
And the way she like tells her story was in that way of like, like you might not have noticed it as you're watching like the flashbacks play out and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when she says it, you're like, you kind of get into it like that.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I don't. That was just something I really liked.
Mhm.
It was just good.
It was a
good
solid movie.
You said it's a tie.
Yeah, I'll get to the tie on the next
Okay.
round.
What was your rating for it?
8.5.
Mine is was it Gentleman of something warfare?
Warfare.
Oh, Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Ungentlemanly warfare.
Yeah.
He said, "What's that movie called?
Yeah.
Gentlemanly Warfare."
The Henry Cavill one.
The Henry Cavill movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's mine. This
I
is
like
what,
that movie.
Number 6 or is it number 5?
This is your number 6.
Number
Yo,
6.
I need like a top 15, man, because these are both solid movies.
Yeah.
But I don't even like
Number
maybe I'd push
6.
out Smile 2 and like Beekeeper for these two movies.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because like, dude.
So yeah, this movie. I think we
They're
talked about
good,
it. We
man.
talked about it during the mid-year, right?
Yeah, I think we did.
We did. I
We
briefly.
did.
I had mentioned it as something either
Honorable
mention or top 5. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put that as my number 7. I'd give it a
6.
Number 6. Yeah.
number 6. Sorry, and I get a 7.5.
Yeah.
And
Just
again,
good.
like it's just it was an overall entertaining movie, and I
Yeah.
would just watch it again.
I think that what really put it like as a good like top 10 contender for me is that like it's based on a true story
Yeah.
and
yeah.
they had fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
usually when you have these based on true story movies, they're very like emotional, deep, and like
That's true.
sad or something. Like you know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like
mhm.
and this was able to like you never felt that. Like you felt like this is like what the fuck is this?
Like it's literally like a ragtag group of people
Yeah.
doing
you know
some like pirate
Sisu
shit.
from last year?
Yeah.
Like this was like almost similar vibe. Like Sisu went a little bit more like fantastical with it.
Sisu was the beekeeper of this
Yeah,
of
like,
last year.
yeah, like I guess, yeah. But like that's what like this kind of felt like. But then like they tied it into like a true story, and I was like, oh wow, like fucking sick.
Nice.
Changes the whole thing because you're
Yeah.
like, this actually happened. Yeah. Anything else? Like any acting portrayals?
Well, it's Henry Cavill killed it, and same with what's his name, Dad.
Oh yeah,
What's his name? What's his real name?
the one who plays Reacher in the
Who's
TV
the dude
series.
that plays Reacher?
In the TV series,
He's like so jacked.
He's so
he was
jacked.
also Aquaman in Smallville.
Yeah.
He's from Blue Mountain State.
That's why I call him Thad, because I know him from Blue Mountain State.
Oh my god,
The
I can't
TV
even.
show. Oh,
Is it something Morrison? Or no?
oh,
What's his name?
fucking the guy from yeah, that guy.
Yo, now it's bugging me. Now it's bugging me, bro.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Like,
that guy.
I know it
Yeah,
as
that
soon as I
guy.
see
He's
his name.
tall as shit. He's like
Alan
6'5".
Richardson.
that
bro.
guy.
Yeah, he's like
thought it was Morrison.
6'5",
That
just
guy, I knew
so
I
jacked.
knew I knew that,
That
guy.
guy.
He's
No,
nice,
his
he's nice.
acting was well done in that.
I knew that
movie.
guy.
And who else? Who was the female in there?
In the movie?
Yeah, there
I
was a
don't
female
remember.
actor too. I can't
I
remember.
don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. We called it a 8.5. You're not even in the 8s yet.
He said 7.5.
7.5.
I hate this guy.
All right, you're number 5.
Gotta be the worst. I got Blink twice here.
All right. Okay.
Actually, I'll bring up another movie later.
Okay.
I'm gonna move this to my top 4, but for now, without spoiling all intents and purposes, Blink twice is number 5.
You're moving this up.
I will move it to number 4 after.
And
then
you
we'll
really
talk
like
about
Blink
it.
Twice.
I think the more I reflected on Blink twice, the more I liked it.
Really?
It was one of those. I didn't get a chance to watch it again though. It
I
was
watched
just
it. It was like
first time or second time.
the first time.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm not like it's not a bad movie by any means.
Yeah.
I do think that like for a first time like director and Zoe Kravitz, like
Yeah.
it was well done.
And also with
Um,
Channing Tatum's character,
He did really good in
Yeah.
his acting. I think that's like one of his first times doing a role,
something like this.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
What
good.
didn't you like?
I feel like I think it delved okay, the concept of the movie works the way it is.
Yeah.
There are moments in the movie where the concept of the movie is slapped on your face.
Yeah.
And that comes in the sense of like that sort of
The fuckery.
like the female wokeness, like where I know who Zoe Kravitz is. Like I know she's very vocal about like the struggle of a woman.
Yeah.
She's very vocal about it. So
Okay.
I knew that like the concept of the movie was gonna touch into those things.
Yeah.
I think there's moments where it's slapped on the viewer's face where I don't think it's necessarily needed. Where like the movie progresses and is very natural without those aspects.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you talking about like when they start realizing what was actually happening?
It more so comes when they start realizing what's happening, because then that's where you start getting like the woman power like sort
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
The movie progresses well without those
Yeah.
sequences, I feel like.
I think I personally I was okay with it, just because like I think when it comes to female things like that, I would rather have them slap us in the face with it
Mm-hmm.
than say like not do enough of what they could have done with it.
Right.
Because like when when like you talk about like people say like not chick flicks, but like that like the woman empowerment stuff, and people like cringe in the way that it's
So,
shown
like,
in certain movies,
yeah.
like Captain Marvel or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people, maybe it's like
So, like-
maybe it's comic book like fans just being toxic, but
Just-
like I don't like the way that when they don't push the envelope far enough.
The best example I could give is, for example, like something that slapped you in the face was in like Endgame when they had all the female characters like
Oh, yeah.
on
That okay,
Yeah.
that slapped
yeah,
in the face.
that was
right?
random, and you didn't need it. I
You
think
didn't need it, right?
I didn't feel that way with this
There are
one.
a few there are a few moments. It's not that many.
Okay.
That's what I will say. Like she limited herself to not that many.
Yeah.
But like for example, it's one of those things where it's like the movie progresses so well without those. It's kind of like where like for example when Matt Reeves is talking about not putting the Joker sequence in
Yeah.
the Batman.
It makes sense to not have it
Because
in there.
It makes sense
Yeah.
not to have it in there because Joker literally tells you what the movie's
Yeah,
about.
and then it takes away from
It
Batman.
takes away from
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
the progression and like what we will get at the end
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of where I get that like
She could have done the same thing.
she could have done the same thing where you just
Mhm.
take those out,
Just a little restraint.
just a little
Yeah.
bit more restraint.
No, that's fair. So that's why I have it at 8.5,
Yeah.
because it's a great movie. Like there's almost like nothing wrong with it, and like the type of
Mhm.
movie, like as far as all the island movies we've seen, Glass Onion and whatnot.
Glass Onion, bro.
This is like
Glass
this,
Onion mentioned.
and what? Yeah.
Just mention Film Red, bro.
No, just like in Film Red, remember
like
that moment?
this felt a lot better, and the performances were good, and like Channing Tatum's scream, that felt so like real, and like like holy shit, like, you know, and he has his own trauma that he's dealing with, and like just like everything everything that she was like wanting to convey in the movie, I felt like was received. Like,
Yeah,
he
it was
picked it
done well.
up,
Yeah.
and like even with like the slap in the face, like in a movie like this, it didn't feel as bad. Whereas in
Yeah.
a movie like when you bring up Endgame,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're like this,
It just
you just
didn't need
you
to
literally
happen.
just did this just to do this.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas that's like in this movie, it's literally like these women are getting trapped on this island.
Yeah.
They kind of have no choice but to team up and like whatever. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it makes sense. It's
Yeah.
not just like let me just throw this in there so people can just feel this type of way or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Yeah. 8.5.
All right. So the one that tied with the bike riders, I know that this is gonna get mentioned probably from the both of you guys. Transformers 1.
Leave my house. Leave.
It is what it is.
Leave.
We had a large conversation
I
about
did
why
not
I felt the way that I felt about it, but it's an 8.5 for me.
I'm just kidding.
It's not that it's a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's enjoyable. It hits all the beats. I do think there were like those moments where it was like, I don't know, it just didn't sit that well. Like, for example, like Megatron and stuff. Like
what?
Like when we were talking about like the.
Nah, bro.
What do you mean? We had this whole conversation.
Okay,
We went back
okay,
and
okay,
forth
okay,
about this.
Okay, what did it say? And fill me in.
Okay,
bro.
okay,
Fill in
okay,
the audience.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. We'll talk about it now,
Okay.
because you know I'm gonna have
'Cause
it
you're
later.
gonna have it
and
later, and I'm guessing you're
we'll,
gonna have
yeah,
it
we'll
later.
address your concerns now. Whatever you were saying.
Yeah, look, okay, so like with Megatron, like his turn, I felt like his turn, the progression of his turn wasn't like, it was like
It was
this.
too fast?
I felt like
It made sense.
it really
it made
didn't.
sense to me too, and
No,
also
the reason why it
I
made
went back and
sense-
watched the movie,
Yeah, you said you mentioned something about that.
and
so to me, the reason why it made sense was because it was like, it's like you lived your entire life thinking society was built
Facts.
a certain way
facts.
and idolizing this person
But then
who
you
you
go
thought
to
was a hero.
extremes.
Let him
Eh,
finish,
yeah,
let me
but
finish,
think
let me
about
finish.
think, and then all of a sudden, this person that you like basically idolized, you're at the bottom of society because you can't
Yeah.
transform. You don't have a core,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this was just the hand I was dealt.
he's going through the hardships,
and he's going through the hardships, and then it's like, yo, these guys are looking out for us.
Yeah.
When in actuality,
like do anything we can to help them
Yeah.
thrive.
but
yeah.
but when in actual, like he's putting in this work in his mind
Yeah.
so that these guys that are looking out for us can like put in the work against
and help society.
help society. But when in actuality, they're the ones that stripped them of their cores, put them in this
Yeah.
position, and actually made a deal.
It flips
to
your
like,
whole head around.
yeah, it's like, bro, like
To the point where you become a terrorist?
Well,
bro,
listen,
he didn't.
well,
it wasn't.
He was trying to murder everybody at some
no,
point.
Bro,
yo,
he was-
there. I went
No,
back-
he turned into
hold
a
on,
terrorist.
Hold on. I went back. Hold
He
on.
became a certified
things,
terrorist at the end of the
Two
movie.
things. One, he's a villain. Villains are flawed.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, but
Next
like
thing,
the issue,
went back and watched
the issue
it.
is that progression. If his progression was done a little bit better, the burn was a
It
lot more
was.
slower,
It was.
and he had more of a reason to become the extreme he became. It makes so much more sense.
So-
You can resonate with that person who's like going through that. But like the stuff that you just said,
Yeah.
you can resonate with that shit.
Yeah.
But then when you see what he turns into, that resonation,
Here's the
I
thing.
can't
But it doesn't
feel
happen-
you
but
no
it
more.
doesn't
Here's the
happen
thing,
right
here's the thing.
away.
Yo, hold on.
I swear it happens.
It doesn't happen right away.
It happens.
He just
like,
wanted. Okay, so he just wants like one more event,
Yeah.
just one more event of him like kind of like going back and forth or just thinking of like
Like teetering.
just part of the progression of
Yeah,
not full blown because
of
like
going
by the
through that.
time he talks to Starscream and he takes over Starscream's army,
Yeah.
he's ready to go.
Yeah.
And then it gets deeper when he lets Optimus die.
And
Yeah.
then
It gets
not only
deeper
that,
there.
he takes it further to say, okay, well, first we were only going to take out the supporters of that guy.
Yeah, and then he's like, let's just fuck.
let's just
everyone.
fuck everybody.
Yeah.
It
But-
goes
but-
to
but
extremes when
you-
it should not
What?
reach there
He
as
he-
quickly as
I
it
mean,
does.
he is an extremist, like Megatron in general. Like it's just fucking like.
But it's like,
he's
no,
like an all
no.
or
The
nothing.
reason,
He will
No, no,
like
but-
Megatron as a character will do anything to bring back Cybertron in the
Sure.
way that he.
but
he
again,
wants
I
to.
understand
like,
that.
was
And
his entire person, like everything he thought of,
Yeah.
just got taken away from him. Like that's gonna
But
obviously
again-
that's
Yo, it's
completely
kinda like
breaks
this.
his character.
Remember in the Joker movie how like Arthur finds out his mom like lied to him,
Yeah.
and then like kills his mom after. That was almost like quick. That was quick.
He already had killed 2 people before that.
I know, but I mean like, dude, killing your mom is a different story.
But
he realized that like she was like
but like
fucking
the
with him,
difference is like you
and
can.
that fucked his world up too.
But the difference is his world's already fucked. like
So
he's already a fucked individual. Megatron's portrayed in the beginning as a normal fucking person who's good friends with like Optimus, who like he's supportive,
But you
everything. And then you like I understand the hardships he has to go through. Like he's not at like the top or whatever. Like he's a bottom of the barrel person. But like they're still living life. They're like still cordial with one another. Everything's fun, right?
But it's like they made you like that.
But they're making the most of the life that they have right now, right?
Right. But
and
think
then
about it like,
and then that turn happens. It goes from something that like he's not a fucked individual at the start with like Arthur, where like he's already done some fucked shit. He's already a fucking weirdo. To okay, well, like we have Megatron who's seemingly normal, who's having fun. We're having fun with these two characters and their adventure before they reach that point, and then he turns into a fucking terrorist.
But it's like this, bro.
Terrorist.
No, but like the way you're looking at it is different because it's like, imagine, so Megatron at the point of the movie, it's like he thought he was born with a disability. When in actuality, the disability was given to him by fucking like the leaders, which is insane. And if you look at it, so basically what I was saying was it's like, imagine being born blind, or you think you're blind, right? You're born blind, you think you're blind,
but somebody
actually just took your eyesight from you, right?
So now I just want to murder everybody.
No.
Not only that, it's somebody that you
idolized,
sure.
like the person you.
But now I want to murder everybody.
No, but there's a progression there, because so when you
the progression of him going to murdering everybody wasn't that
I went back and watched the movie. So he is such a faithful worker to the fact that like Optimus wants to go fuck around and do things. Where he's like, shut up and just do your work. Right? Like he is so like invested in just working that like when they eventually like, go in the race and then they move on to like, they Alpha Trion like is like, like this is actually what's up. That like obviously crashes his whole world, right? And he's like, I want to kill this guy because like that's how mad he is. He's so emotional at that point. He's very emotional.
I can understand that.
He's very emotional, and then like, but it isn't until it's kind of like you have a radicalized group of Starscream guys. They're radicalized and they're trying to like overthrow the government, right? You now like it's kind of like the circumstances of putting Megatron in that situation when his emotions are heightened. He in that situation, it was like, either he does something now and takes over like Starscream's army and actually does something about this, like how he's feeling, or he just shuts up and sits down with these feelings and doesn't do jack shit. It was like a all or nothing response there, that he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm down.
And the thing is, bro,
and
the thing is the response of shutting up and doing nothing. That's what he's been doing his entire life. The whole thing, because I'm sure like as like a human or whatever person, Optimus had impulses. He would go on those impulses, and Megatron wouldn't. He was like to the Tia rule follower, right? And it's almost like when you have a superhero, or like a superhero who's a cop, and they try to bring someone to justice, and the justice system fails them, and they put all their work into the justice system, and now it failed, and now they're like,
but now the cop's just gonna murder everybody?
No, he's gonna become a vigilante and take matters into his own hands.
But that's
so
like,
no,
it's not. Because
that's the same shit.
Because what Megatron then goes and does is fucking says, I'm murdering everybody.
No, not yet.
It happens in the same sequence.
No, because now listen.
What?
Now when he goes from Starscream, that moment.
No, you're missing. We're in different areas.
You're earlier.
No, I'm after. I'm after.
Way later.
So like when he takes that army and he goes and they go through that whole ordeal trying to kill this fucking guy. That's fine. I can understand that. That's a coup.
Megatron gets locked up.
Sure, but like that whole act is a coup. I can understand it. You're trying to free your people who this person has been wronging the whole time. He frees them. What is his next step? Once he frees them,
he's like, burn everything down.
Burn everything down, kill fucking everybody. That makes no sense.
There's a switch up though. Because one is before that happens, he loses his last sense of like who he was when he let Optimus die.
Okay.
That was like the one like where he's like at this point, like if he's willing to let Optimus die, that's the turn point where he's like, if he didn't care for his best friend, what makes you think he's gonna care for random people?
But then that's what I'm saying. Like where how that all plays out at the end is a little too quick for what his end game becomes.
I think the pacing is fast. You were right there. You are right. Like the pacing of the movie is fast, but I think it works. I think it all works with. I'm not saying
like
it doesn't
being a kids
work. Movie and everything.
I'm not saying it doesn't work.
You just wanted a little bit more.
I'm saying that like to make it that perfect movie.
Yeah.
You add those things
Yeah.
that then brings
Like-
it from
like
an
literally you
8.5
add-
to a 9 to 9.5 to a whatever.
You add a 10-15 minute sequence of just another event.
Exactly.
I get that. I get that sentiment. For me, it was enough. For you, it wasn't, and
Yeah.
that's fair, right? I think but like I sent you that script, right?
Yeah.
When Megatron is like, yo, like why would you do that? And he lets Optimus fall.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to himself. In the script, it says like in brackets, like he's talking to himself.
Oh.
It's not like he's not talking to Optimus like, yo, why
Yeah.
did you get in my way?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's like, yo, like how could like he's
How
more
could
like
I
it's
let
like
this
yeah.
happen to my boy?
yeah, like he did it like
Yeah,
he's
okay.
and then that's where he has the turning point because he's like, fuck it, I'm not like
Like
he's
like
yeah.
basically he's like, I've fallen so far.
so far
that
there's no
recovery,
redemption. There's no redemption.
Then he's like, fuck
And that's
it, burn
why it gets
everything to
even
the
and then when Optimus comes back and the Primes pick him, like it's like salt on the wound too, because like he gave up everything at that point where he's like, oh, I even let my best friend die,
Mm-hmm.
and the Primes chose him. Like now he's even more like everything is just like it's just pushing him further down into that like to becoming Megatron.
Yeah.
So,
It's
like-
just like the thing is it's like crazy when you consider like where we start in the movie where he's a sensible
Yeah.
person to where like it in the end like all sense disappears. And like you consider how quick that progression of the sense
Yeah.
disappearing is a little crazy.
I
He just had a virus, bro.
the thing is like I would agree with that if it was more depending on like what the like how deep the circumstances went.
Yeah.
But because of how like this shakes him to the core, this almost reminds me of like it's like you know if you have like 9/11, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going deep. Like this is like you had people.
Terrorist mentioned.
No, this is so. Have you seen New York? Have you seen the movie New York?
The Hindi movie?
Yeah. Have you seen the New York
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, I've seen
Have you
it.
seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Essentially,
Okay.
this is like I'm not explaining like this is okay. I'm just saying like I'm telling you how drastic. I'm telling you how
Yeah.
drastic
Okay.
that shit is.
Go
okay?
ahead. Go ahead.
So like you have this movie.
right.
So like you know how like law enforcement was going down on and like brown people are
Yeah.
just getting like racism,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter like what your background is. Nothing like you're brown, like whatever, we're fucking you up.
Send
right?
them back to their country.
Right?
Yeah.
So like in the movie New York, like these guys are getting like tortured for like because they're assuming these guys like are part of Osama bin Laden's like squad and whatnot,
Sure.
and they're just regular brown people that were just they were just here, like they were students, they're just here to learn
Okay.
and the regular people, right? Like you have like regular people, and because they got like tortured,
Yeah.
now they're like, yo, you tortured me when I was just like a regular person. Fuck you. Now I'm against you. And this guy becomes a terrorist. Like it's like he wasn't a terrorist beforehand, and he turned into a terrorist because of like the overcorrection of what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that same way, like with Megatron, like it makes sense because of how like amped he was. Like he's emotional, and like the political state of what was occurring afterwards, and like the coup and everything. Like it's all fucking like it's all just fueling it, and like I can understand like why it progressed so fast because of the circumstances. Because if it was something like more, I guess like grounded, more like I guess like not as intense as like a full scale war and like restructuring society and like overthrowing the government and stuff, like then I understand like having it more like slow paced and kind of like covering those events. But I think it was literally like I think they did it in a way where the circumstances were perfect for like his fall, and it was literally just a snowball effect. So like yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
It's not gonna change your opinion on it.
I think
feel.
I think it was still.
It's not gonna change your opinion on it. Like you're right for where you're like you're also not like a Transformers fan in the way that like we are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're also like
biased.
we're biased in that
Yeah.
way, but we're also like picking up on those things that like pushed it like higher than the 8.5 as well, right?
It's mine. That was your number 5 pick.
Yeah.
It's my number 5 pick. Deadpool Wolverine.
Damn,
That's
that went up.
high. I mean, your other guys,
This guy-
your other shit was low. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, did he have it in his top 5 in the
before?
mid-year?
No, I
No,
don't
I
think
swear
so.
he did.
Not at all.
I swear I was the only one.
Not at all, bro. You were the only one with it in your top 5, so that's kind of crazy. But that conversation put it in my top 10. So
Okay.
The one that he had.
the one that we had at our half year,
Yeah.
mid-year.
Same.
It put it in my top 10.
It moved my rating too.
Damn, bro, I'm moving mountains.
Yeah.
What am I? I was at 7.5 before. I put it like a 7.8.
Yo, when are we getting into like the 8s
Give me your
and
8s,
9s?
dog. Give me your 9s. Give me your 10 out of 10s.
You got 4 movies
Let
left.
me know what movies bricked you up, bro. Like, what are you giving me right now?
Yeah, we already talked about this mid-year movie
Yeah,
review.
we did.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked the fight choreography. So
What brought it into your top 5?
the lack of watching other movies.
That's crazy. Real? That's fair.
At least he's honest.
I was just wondering if like there was something like you went back watched it or something. I don't know.
Bro,
At least he's honest.
you think, bro? If I had time to rewatch a movie,
No, I don't know.
That's
man.
crazy.
You never know. My 4th spot, which would technically be my 5th spot now, Long Legs.
What?
Yeah, Long Legs. I watched it again the second time. Looking back, like it's still a great movie. I just think that like the second time I watched it, there were certain things that didn't flow as well, or that I didn't like as well as I did the first time I watched it. But there were also things that I picked up better. This is a 9, so I'm in my 9 ratings now,
Okay.
which is why it's like
Damn,
I
first
just
9.
I just think with Blink Twice, I could appreciate that type of movie more.
Okay, so
I think that's really all it came down to, because like my Blink Twice was like 8.5. This is a 9. It's like a personal preference thing of like
slotting them. And
it's just my overall appreciation factor of like what the movie gave me.
okay. When you
Yeah.
watched it the second time, did it still hold up?
For Long Legs,
Yeah.
it still held up pretty well, and I actually liked like in the beginning of the movie when she's on the phone with her mom,
Mm-hmm.
like now that you know how like the movie ends, you could actually like see that like this isn't a regular conversation between a mom and daughter,
Yeah.
and then there's also like the Easter eggs like the devil in the background in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then I just think like it's like that, like you also brought it up in our mid-year, where it's the lack of actual scariness to the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's warranted to actually think about when you're rating this movie.
yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm still gonna give it a 9. I could potentially drop it to 8.7 given like all the stuff that you brought up. Yeah, I don't know what else we discussed it pretty heavily in the
Yeah,
mid-year.
mid-year will be in our description, by the way.
your number 4.
My number 4, Deadpool and Wolverine
Okay.
at a 8, 9, or a 9.
9?
Yeah, I'm in there. It's the same rating I gave it.
What did you give No Way Home?
Like a 9 point something. Again, the
fair.
carnival movies get me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cameos and I'm down.
This wasn't a cameo though. This was like he was there.
Yeah. Fair.
Wolverine,
Okay.
Hugh Jackman coming
Yeah.
back, the Fox, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like, like I didn't think they did too horribly in the sense of like trying to make it like there was still heart to the movie.
Yeah.
So like I can appreciate that for like a carnival movie. Like
Yeah.
they at least tried.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it my number 4, right?
Yes, sir.
You guys gonna be surprised.
Oh shit.
I don't think so.
Furiosa.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wait, it wasn't in your top 5 and now it's in your top 5?
Dude, it was in my like. It wasn't even in my. I think
It wasn't in the stratosphere.
Yeah, before.
What happened? What changed?
No, honestly,
think-
I can agree with Josh because I almost forgot that Furiosa even came out this year.
Well,
Yeah.
what changed?
I like thought about the movie more.
Okay.
Like I remember when when I first watched
Oh,
it.
right. He hadn't seen like Mad Max.
Yeah, the first one. Did you watch that
Yeah.
at least?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I didn't change
Okay,
anything.
that didn't change it
That
though.
didn't change
No.
nothing.
What changed it was like when I first watched the movie.
Yeah.
It was like
Go ahead.
it was like I was kind of like disappointed because I was expecting more from the film.
Mm-hmm.
But then I didn't really, when you guys were discussing the film, and then when I thought back on it, like the world building was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, world building
Like the
is
world
insane.
building was insane, bro. Like even like the
Mm.
tech and everything they were using,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in the fight sequences on on the road
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
going from
Dude.
thing to thing.
This is crazy because we had really solid not like really good movies, but really solid contenders of like
Yeah,
this
Top-
range.
the
Yeah.
It's
top
just
3, top 5.
yeah.
well, just like you have like the way you have Bike Riders, you had Furiosa, and then
Yeah.
you said one other movie, like Gentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah.
These are 3 movies that
I
are
said Transformers 1.
no, we're not talking about that. These are 3 movies in particular that like they are like 8 out of 10s. Like they're good movies. I don't know where to place them.
So
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
so
Like it's just like
my rating,
Transformers 1 included.
no.
my rating for Furiosa is 8.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, we got into the 8s finally.
That's what I was saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I think I had Furiosa at like an 8.5. Like I would potentially put Furiosa in my top 10. It's just one, I forgot about the movie for a second. Two, I want to go back and watch Mad Max and watch Furiosa again, because like I think that'll help with the overall rating.
Top 3, buddy.
Number 3.
Anora.
Nora, I've heard great things about
I've
this
heard
movie.
good things about it too.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a movie about this like Russian like stripper, and like you obviously have like ass and titties and whatever like happening in the beginning,
Yeah.
and like a little bit throughout the movie, like whatever. But she's kind of like borderline like a prostitute in a way, and like
borderline.
well, like yeah, cause like for a while she's just a stripper, but then like you can tell that she's like in that, it's like that mindset of like, you know, like as long as I'm making money, it's fine and like whatever. And,
Right.
like, it's kind of like it's kind of like a sex worker's like mindset, but she's not necessarily like having sex with a bunch of people, but there is like moments like later on where you're like, it's like kind of blurring the lines, like because I think there are like there's like strippers that like every now and then they might do it, but not like all the time. I don't know. Anyways, she's portrayed as like a stripper, not like as a prostitute. So I don't want to say she's a prostitute.
Right.
One, like the actress phenomenal, and the story was just so like genuinely funny, cause like she basically meets this kid. He's like this rich like diplomat's kid, and he's just fucking around. He's supposed to be in school in like the States or something, and he just fucking, they're just doing cocaine, doing whatever, and just partying. And he's like, fuck it, let's get married. His parents find out that this guy gets married to like a stripper, and they're like, nah, fuck that, you're ruining the image of us. So then his dad sends like his Russian like boys to go and like collect his son and like stop this shit. And she's like, bro, I'm not getting a divorce, fuck this, nah. And she's trying to like go against it, and she's trying to show like, oh, like we're in love, but like this kid's just a fucking spoiled brat. And he's like,
how old is he, bro?
He's like, no, he's like 20 something.
All right.
But he's like,
thanks for the clarification.
sorry.
Drinks
You're right. Well, I'm calling him a kid, and she's a stripper. So
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like,
you're
bro, what the fuck's going on?
no, but he's a spoiled brat.
Like I have zero context.
Sorry.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
No, so he's a spoiled brat, like, but he's a grown man, but he's just kind of
Right,
he's supposed to take over the family business and
right,
stuff.
but he's 24.
And I don't know if he's 24, but he's like early 20s, fucking around.
Older than 18.
You can just tell that he's like a bitch, essentially. Like he has no like, I guess you like manly characteristics to like
Right.
like honor or respect a woman or nothing like that. He's just kind of like whatever his parents say goes, because he's just a rich like trust fund kid type of thing.
Yeah, like he's a coward.
Yeah, and it's just so hilarious because like he goes MIA because he just goes to like party and just get like blackout drunk, and she's stuck with these Russian guys that are like, it's just like just the way that they interact, because it's like jokes that wouldn't really, like, you know how like there's jokes in like Punjabi or something that like they fly because they're in Punjabi. It's like that where like because they're Russian, like they don't know like English words, and there's jokes that just work because of like how their sentence structure is and like how they would speak in English and stuff. Like it's not like fluid English, and it's just, I just felt like it just felt so like not cheap humor. It felt actually like authentic, like and the progression of the story was good. I think there was just one complaint for me, was that like there were moments where like throughout the movie, like you have this high and you're following the story, and like it's funny like throughout the whole, it's different ways of just humor and stuff, and then at one point there's like a lull of just like you're kind of tired of this chase, because these guys are still chasing after this rich kid, and they're trying to track him down so they can get this like divorce happening, and they're trying to do it before the diplomat actually comes into the States, because once their dad comes, they're like, oh fuck, like they're in shit because they haven't controlled their son, and like because these guys are kind of like they're his bodyguards and stuff, and they're supposed to they're like doing oversight and make sure he doesn't fuck shit up like this, and they didn't do shit, they didn't fucking do their job, right? So their asses are gonna get handed to them. So then it's just overall like everything worked really well. I think just once we get towards the end, I would have liked more emotional impact, because like she's like bitching at like his mom and him, and she's literally like, bro, like respond to me, like fucking tell me, like don't we love each other, like what's up? And he's just there like just brain dead, just not saying anything. And you're just like, yo, like fucking, like say something. Like even if it's like not what like the right words, like even if you are just a fuck up, like he's just sitting there just non-responsive, not actually giving her any attention. And she's just there like, bro, like what the fuck, right? Like she like literally like thought they were in love and were gonna get married. And then they're like, dude, like we'll give you $10,000 and fuck off. Like write this divorce shit and get out of here. And then like she's
like,
just
yeah.
so fucking pissed. And then like the other like,
Oh.
sorry,
She's like down.
like no, she wasn't. She was like you would think so, right? But no, like she was such a like well developed character, and she had like morals and stuff and like whatever. And you're following her, and you honestly like you fuck with her the whole time because you're like she's a proper person. She's not just like what you would expect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had these like these Russian bodyguards, there's 3 of them. They're also like they have their own personalities and they're so funny in their own way. And then like one of them, he was such a dickhead at the beginning, but over this whole chase, he spent time with her, and he starts to like he tries to say sorry, and he tries to like be friends with her again and just like be okay with her. And she's like, no, fuck you, like I fucking hate you. like and then like toward like once you get to the end of the movie, you can see like how he's like being like a gentleman, and like he's just like he's doing like the right things. Like at the beginning of the movie, it was just like circumstances, like things happen, and he's like this isn't me, like I swear, like I'm a normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just very like against him. And then at the end of the movie, I guess she kind of realized like he's like such a nice guy, and then she like fucks him in his car. And that's why I was kind of just like it was weird because it was kind of like that was her answer of like
She fucks the bodyguard?
huh? Yeah. And she's like, how do I thank you? In her head, because like she's a stripper, right? And like in her head, it's like people are only nice to you for sex, or people are only nice to you for like this. So like he was being so like genuine with her that like she didn't know how to like repay him, and she doesn't have like she had money, but it's like he doesn't need money. Like he's getting well paid. So like this was her way of like thanking him, and it's just like it all just tied it in like really well together. And like I think to me the funniness was really like it put it up like over the top. Yeah. And obviously like it was directed well, like everything else, like yeah,
Nice.
characters were well done. Like yeah, I would like recommend you guys to watch this.
In my number 3 slot, I have The Wild Robot.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch
I
it.
didn't watch that either.
It was so good.
It was
It looks so good,
It was
man.
so good.
people were contending it with Transformers because they're like, yo, like I
Bro,
don't know which one's better.
It was so good.
Fuck.
Look at the way he's saying it too.
It was so good.
Yeah,
Damn.
Heike, don't even spoil it, but do it.
That shit was so good, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo,
It's not number 1 though, huh?
no, but like it was so good.
Damn.
That shit was like emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay. Just off that, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta watch it too.
Just off
What
that.
do you rate it?
a 9.
9.
Okay.
Is your number 3?
What would it
My
have
number 3.
improved?
Huh?
What would it have improved? Like, why was it not a 10?
Not the biggest fan of animated movies.
Really?
Yeah,
That's why you didn't like Transformers.
no, I told you.
Like animated movies? Or
Like-
like anime movies?
No, anime movies go hard.
Okay,
Animated.
Animated.
okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a couple other things where it was like, because I'm an adult, it's like that doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Cause like
I get that.
because it's like it is technically based in like reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they're animals, right?
Yeah.
So then like the conclusion that they come to at the end, it's like that doesn't make sense in like the reality of the situation of like
right.
these are
right.
wild animals. It doesn't make sense.
How was
But when
the-
you guys watch it, you guys will understand.
No,
what I
but
mean,
how
yeah.
was the soundtrack? How was the storyline?
Fuck, it was good.
Yeah,
The
voice
storyline
acting
was good.
great.
The voice acting was good. The emotion behind the characters was good. Yeah, it was just overall like a solid story.
Okay.
Your number 3.
My number 3 is Long Legs.
Okay.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
9?
Are we at 9s, 8s?
No, dude, 8.2.
He said nah, dude.
He said
Nah,
8.2.
dude.
He said 8.2.
Why is it do you drop your rating? I feel like you dropped your rating.
For Long Legs?
For Long Legs, yeah. I think it was like at 8.5, no? 8.3?
No.
Okay, fine.
Maybe it was, I don't know. Somewhere there.
I feel like he also has to watch his mid-year again.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's in the description.
Yeah, I'll watch it, bro. And you guys will too.
Um,
No.
any changes from your perspective on it?
No, I just like I thought it was a solid film. Like
Okay. But 8.2 is very low compared to like
No.
if it's a solid film. Like why was it a 9? Why is it a 10?
it's not like a
Like what? I mean, low
like,
and like.
other if I'm comparing it to a horror movie that I thought was like a 9
Mhm.
is Talk to Me.
So what's the difference between the two? Of like why this isn't a 9?
It's
Because I feel like they're both stories are well structured.
no, the ending is very anticlimactic for
Long legs.
Long Legs.
Okay.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
doesn't really like it doesn't explain much.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you know what I
That's
mean? So
I get that.
again, like I've said this multiple times on the pod, when it comes to horror films, give me that lore.
Yeah.
Like if you don't explain
Explain the
especially
demon stuff
especially
properly.
if it's like some supernatural shit, if
Yeah.
you're not explaining the lore
Yeah.
as to why things are the way they are,
Yeah.
that's the whole reason I'm watching the movie.
Yeah,
Because I'm
facts.
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious as to why things are what
Build
they
it
are.
up a little
I'm
bit
not
more.
I'm not watching the movie because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get scared. No, I'm fucking in the movie because I'm trying to see like
Mm.
how does the events unfold.
Yeah.
Like it's curiosity,
Yeah.
right? And so like in Long Legs, events were not being
No, I get that.
explained.
I think the whole
So-
demon thing, like they did show a little bit of like the doll and how it enters the house and stuff, and I like that to explain how like it even takes root.
Yeah,
But
or the
then-
magic,
But I wanted more. Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
like the answer
or like
behind that.
or like why the fuck did Nicolas Cage's character give himself up?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like he served his purpose. I don't know. Like he was.
No, like he
He-
could
he
have just kept going.
Yeah, he.
Why
could-
do you
was a
literally
weirdo
just give
though,
himself up?
but he was just like a servant of like the Lord, the Dark Lord. I guess.
Right,
I don't
and
know,
couldn't he
fucking-
keep serving him?
Yeah, the way you said, it's like, yo, you're almost a part of it.
No, but couldn't he just keep serving him? Like, what's the?
I think that was his purpose though. I don't know.
I don't know.
But also, he
Yeah.
wasn't like a mastermind at like keeping it like subtle. The cops found him. They found him.
No, because he.
They stopped
Did
him.
it
They stopped him at the bus stop.
Yeah, he was, bro. He on purpose.
No, he was trying to dip. He didn't have a car or anything.
He has a car. He literally in his car is like, "Mommy,
Oh yeah.
Daddy."
Yeah, you're right.
So why the fuck would he be on the bus, bro?
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. So it was on purpose.
Mm.
Maybe.
No, it was for sure
but
on
they,
purpose.
Or they might have just been tracking his car. Like if they're looking at his car, it would be faster for him to like not faster. It would be more covert to dip by a bus. I don't know. I don't know why he did it either. He's a fucking weirdo.
It definitely seemed
Um,
as though he was like doing it on purpose. Anyways,
I feel like Mommy and Daddy just gives it like a 9 out
Shut
of
up.
10.
8.2. Over to you for your number 2 spot.
Number 2 is Transformers 1.
Ooh. Ooh.
The best Transformers movie I've seen in my life.
Ooh.
I went back and watched the original like 1980s or whatever. Not like this movie's crazy. I don't know. Like I don't know what else to say. Like it does everything. Like voice acting sick, fight choreography sick. Like you've never seen Transformers move the way they've moved in this. Like reattaching like Megatron's like tank arm and like all just everything like so fluid. Like everything was sick. Story obviously it was a little bit fast paced, and I get that like one critique, which obviously that's why this is gonna be like a 9.5 for me
Mhm.
because of that pacing thing. Like that's like the one critique I do understand because like it would have been nice. I also just love the fact that it's so well oriented with like being a kid friendly movie, but also something for like the people that grew up with Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
And it really felt like this was like a way to get like the newer generation of kids like into Transformers, and like I'm just so pumped to see like where it goes. Like this was one of the like this and my top one were like one of the only movies where like you like leave the theater like I can't wait to go back in again. So
Are you rated a 9?
I said
9.5.
9.5.
And what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Mad Max Furiosa.
Oh.
okay,
That was a good movie, man. Like everything about it, the choreography, the
Yeah.
fucking set designs, like the actual like designs of like the props,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the fucking cars, everything that they were using, and obviously the
Yeah.
world building
Yeah.
was top tier.
yeah.
top
yeah.
tier.
Like we got to see fucking Gasoline Town, we got to see
Yeah.
all like the fucking Bullet Town, whatever, right? Obviously we got to see like a different faction outside of what we saw in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
In terms of Chris Helmsworth character, and he fucking popped off with this,
and he was Optimus.
he popped off with this
Yeah.
role. It was just overall a good story, and like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people didn't like what's her name, Anna Taylor,
Anya?
whatever.
Is it Anna? Anya?
I don't know, whatever her name is.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, her name, whatever. I know a lot of people didn't like her acting. Personally, I enjoyed it. I understood
Same.
like why she was a mute for
Mhm.
most of the movie.
I think I would have. I'm on like 50-50. I would have enjoyed her saying more things,
Mm-hmm.
but also like you said, like she wasn't an expressive person in the movie to begin with as a character.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the stuff was already like you didn't need her. That was just more like I would like to have moments,
Yeah.
not that like you actually needed her to like say anything.
Yeah. And just overall like where then it leads into like Fury Road, like it was all done well. I really good movie.
What do
I
you-
love Mad Max.
What are you rating it?
A 9.3.
Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy. So my number 2 is
That's yours?
Transformers.
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit, are we in the nines now?
Yeah, it is.
I give it an 8.8.
I'm gonna fight you.
Shit.
I'm gonna throw hands.
Yo, he's
bro.
not that far off from me.
I'm
That's
not that far
crazy.
off from 9.
That's true.
You're too far off for my liking.
What do you mean, bro? What the fuck?
Don't worry, we're gonna run the movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
why
if we
why
run it back.
why is it low for you?
Why is it 8.8?
Why is it 8 point? Like, why is it not like a 9? Like,
Yeah.
what gives it that 9, or what didn't? Give
Like
it that
everything we've
9?
discussed, like did something like sway you?
No. I just it was enjoyable and it was a good film. It was just I think I wanted to see more Transformers.
What do you mean?
Like
More cast?
Yeah, like a bigger cast.
Bro, I mean we had Shockwave, we had Soundwave,
No, I know.
we had
Yeah.
we had
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many.
He
of
wants
these
more.
guys. You want more? Fair, I guess, but like this is the first time
Just
we
like
got,
I want a longer runtime.
this is the first time we
Yeah,
got like lore
I
drop.
want a longer runtime.
I mean, yeah, I want a longer.
Yeah,
runtime.
that's what I'm saying. So
But-
because
but,
there
like-
wasn't a longer runtime, it's not a 9.
This is the first time we get like an actual lore drop on like primes and like
Yeah.
Megatronus
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all
yeah.
this shit. Like no other Transformers movie has hit it like that, and it's in a digestible way. It's
No,
not
yeah,
like,
it was good.
yeah.
It was good. It was just
He just wants more.
parts of it did seem childish because
facts.
it was catered to kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why it didn't end up being higher on my thing because I was
Mm.
kind of like,
Okay.
yeah.
Damn.
So at 8.8. So do we all want to say our number 1 together?
Yeah, I
We
was
did
gonna
this in the
say
mid-year.
so our number 1 for the year, if you haven't guessed already.
Is
Godzilla X Kong.
Shut up,
The new
man.
empire.
Shut up.
is
bro.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
The other guy-
wait, Dory, I'll get it this time.
Rebel
it's
Moon
actually
Part 2.
Alien Romulus.
No. It's
Dune 2.
Dune 2.
Phenomenal
You guys already know.
movie.
What can we
You guys already
say?
know. Yeah, what can we say?
Yeah.
So rating?
9.8, 9.9.
9.5.
Like it's high. It's
9.
fucking high up there. Like this
It's
is like
just a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good
this is
movie.
like one of the like most peak movie experiences I've had.
For real.
No, I'm serious. Like
It-
everything
it
that
is one of those.
everything that went behind
is
the
one of
movie,
those
like
ones.
the actors in the movie, like I don't even know how, like the like the passion for the director behind the movie.
Mhm.
Like
is one of those
everything I
ones.
learned about the movie just kept making it better. Like
You had your boy in the movie too?
Austin
Austin
Butler.
Butler
Yeah.
kills it in the movie too. Fucking
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah, like I mean, I think I mentioned in the mid-year, like I think the Batman is one of the other only movies that like I could even rate this high, like leaving the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And Dune was one of those like immediate, like 100%.
Yeah,
you know, like it
yeah.
was
Yeah.
just there's literally like
Oppenheimer,
Oppenheimer as well. That's it.
Batman.
Those are like my 3 right there. Like Dune 2,
Dune
Oppenheimer,
2.
like that's it. I don't know what else. Interstellar.
Interstellar,
What
Alien
about
Romulus,
Shut up.
the Iron Claw?
Iron
No.
Claw's up there.
9.8,
for sure.
9.9. No, I
Bro,
can't.
Iron Claw's up there.
I watched
Iron
it again.
Claw's
Have you seen it
definitely up
again?
there.
Iron Claw's up
Did
there.
you
I've
watch
seen
it
it
again?
like twice.
Iron Claw's
I've
up
seen
there.
it
Did you
two or
watch
three
it again?
times.
Iron Claw's up there, bro.
Did you watch it again?
Why are you asking me? I haven't watched any of these movies again.
I know. I just,
So like,
Cause you need
then
to,
let me drop all the ratings.
no, no, just well, because it's been like a year since it's been out, so I thought maybe like you
No.
know, I watched it again and like it's good. It's just like, cause you've already seen the story, it's a little bit slow and you feel slow and you're kind of just like move on a little bit faster. You know,
Sounds like you just don't like slow movies.
Yeah.
Bro.
at time it depends. It depends. Like it's just if it's slow, like just give us those beats where it's slow, where you're invested enough that you're not like move on. And for slow movies, it's one of those things where when you watch it the second time,
Yeah.
now that you're rewatching it, the slow things feel slower because you already have the information of what they're giving you.
Right.
So that's
So
why
that's why first time watches are like
the best.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Dune 1 is like that. Dune 1 feels like so slow.
Yeah.
It is slow.
The second time you watch it, you're like, this is the slowest movie ever.
Yeah. No, there's such a big change from like my rating of Dune 1 to Dune 2.
Yeah.
Like Dune 1, I gave it like an 8. Like maybe.
Wow.
Like it's
That's
like,
huge.
is it huge?
From 8 to 9, it's not
9.8.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's massive.
But like if you had like a 7 or 6, that'd be crazy.
But the thing is, I had it like 7.5, but it's like as we had these conversations about the
Yeah.
first movie, like there's things where I was like, okay, you could argue me to 8.5. Like it's just
Mhm.
yeah, nothing else to say. Dune, just fucking say.
It's just a
Like,
good movie.
great
Go
movie.
watch
Alright.
if you haven't seen
Yep.
it. I mean,
I think that's it.
That's it.
that's it. That was our year-end
Mhm.
2024 top 10 movies of the
was
year.
Extensive.
It was pretty extensive.
We had a decent amount of different movies.
Yeah, there was variation there,
Yeah.
except our top one. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
like when it's that strong of a movie, what
You
do
can't
you
do anything. Yeah.
What do you
Especially with the
do?
year you're given.
I think we're gonna try to do better with getting videos out
More episodes out. Yeah.
more frequently. So look out for that. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Go in the comments. Let us know what you guys thought
I
about
hope you guys are back to watch this.
this year in terms of movies. Maybe your top 10. Go in our description of our TikTok and our Twitter. Instagram coming never. Honestly, don't even follow the TikTok or the Twitter.
That's crazy, bro. Nah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Peace.
Guys.